Ladies, gentlemen, Speakerhead Squad, my camera is working cool. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Speakerhead, and welcome back to another stream. Hope you all are having a good day, night, evening, whatever time period it is, but welcome back to the stream. Or welcome to the stream, I should say. Oh, let me turn this down. Let's do something like... How about that, chat? At a good volume, hopefully. We'll work with that. But hello, crates. I read your messages. Moving up in the world, getting your permit. How old are you at this point? I thought you were like 15, like 3 years ago. But that is very cool. Gosh, when did you start watching me? It had to be like under 13. Because, like, yeah, I mean, considering you were watching me back in, like, 2022, 2023, yeah, I'm just, like, kind of, like, doing that mental math. Gosh, you're literally a child. Crates, let's just say this. You're lucky that I was not as professional as I'm trying to be these days, because... in a lot of ways, even though we didn't do anything appropriate, people would look at that very wrongly, but that is actually kind of funny now that I'm like thinking back on it. Gosh, you are, I'm sorry, no offense, Crates, you were an infant, my child. You're so young, I didn't even realize. But that is very cool. I'm glad you're getting your permit. Best of luck to getting your license and everything. And when it comes to the gym, good on ya. It's a lot easier to keep up in high school and stuff rather than outside of high school, because I was a gym freak in high school and then I kind of gave up afterwards because I just didn't get a gym membership because it's expensive. And now I just kind of occasionally work out at home whenever I get a chance. It gets the job done, but not as good as a gym would. But once again, that is very cool about the whole permit thing. The chat, as you saw by the title, we're going to be doing a little bit of building today. We're doing another mega base build. Not really much to go over, besides we got channel memberships now. So if you want to get access to some emotes or an exclusive background, I don't even want to bother throwing it up. You'll get exclusive for the $5 tier. You can go look at my community posts. It's got a little watermark on it, but you can see the desktop background if you'd like that. But yeah, we got a couple tiers for memberships now. We got a sponsorship. Anyone who is, they're not paying me to say this, by the way, I'm just saying it. But if you do want to get a dedicated server, we do now have a discount code for Berry Bite. So you Speaker20 for 20% off at Berry Bite if you ever want a dedicated server. They got Palworld servers, 7 Days to Die, Unturned, Valheim, Rust, a bunch of games. But yeah, if you're ever getting a server through Berry Bite, use my discount code. It helps you out by saving you money. It helps me out because you're using my code. So it's a win-win for both of us. I'm sorry, my brain is... This is going to be a very scuffed stream, chat, because it's already kind of late and I'm already tired. So this isn't going to be like a super duper late stream or a super duper long stream. And by super duper long stream, I don't mean like a 5+ hour stream. Probably more like 3-ish hours. But yeah, I mean, long story short though, it's going to be a bit scuffed because I'm already tired. So apologies if I already suck at speaking, but you're going to hear me speak a lot worse tonight. So sorry about that. Also, I don't have any lights illuminating them. I just see them in my camera right now. Figure check. We'll just speed run it. We got... Oh. For SH Figure Arts Luffy. It wants to show that at all. Focus. Focus. There we go. We got Luffy. Whatever. And then we have my cell shaded Optimus Prime. Anyone see that like TikTok? Well, we got our cell shaded Optimus Prime also hanging out with us today. My lizard's excited. You can't see her, but she's like right here. She's right here. But you can't see her. But she is very excited because I'm moving stuff right next to her. But also, cat. Hello, cat. Can I help? Don't fuck with the lizard. You want to say hello to chat? Psst, 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 psst. You want to say hello to chat? Oh. Chat. Cat. Cat. Chat. Hello. You want to say hi to chat? Hold on, you sit still. Oh, I'm gonna hug you. Oh. Hold on. No, wait, come here. Chat. Kate. Mr. Henry. He doesn't like that chat. Why don't you want to look at chat, you needy little SOB? Huh? Boop. Hello, MJ. Oh, I'm feeling all right tonight. We were just going over it. I'm a little sleepy. It's already like 9:30 for me, and I'm already tired, but it's okay. We're here. We're streaming, but we're doing good. Hope you're also doing well. Yeah, well, sorry about not streaming yesterday. I was going to, but it was honestly kind of similar thing where I just got really tired super early, even earlier than today, and I was just like, yeah, we're not streaming. So plus, on the bright side, new upgrade guide coming out tomorrow. I was working on that a lot yesterday and today, so we got that all finished up, and that should be uploaded tomorrow morning, or at least for me tomorrow morning. So we also got that coming up, but we got a bunch of stuff coming up, MJ. It's just I need the free time to work on things. That's the problem. This stuff doesn't make itself, and the main problem with Palworld specific stuff, like these upgrade guides, is like, not even the upgrade guides, even like everything essentially, even the base builds, it's like these bases don't build themselves. So it's like, okay, let's say hypothetically it's like an 8-hour editing process, so like just a normal 9 to 5 work day. That's not including like the 10+ hours I spent actually building the mega base and everything, and getting all the pals upgraded for the mega base and everything. So it's a lot of work, okay? So we'll get there eventually, but until then, we'll just have to make do with my chaos that I keep throwing at you guys of when I upload stuff. But we're here. Like I was saying though, it isn't going to be a super long stream. By a super long stream, I mean like not like a 5 to 8 hour stream, more like a 3-hour stream. But we'll be here for a few hours. But let's kind of start hopping into things, chat. I do want to talk about some other things maybe kind of towards the end of the stream, but I do want to talk about some future streaming plans. Mainly I want to talk about oops, that can go away. Where's my camera? Or where's my face cam? Hold that thought. Hey, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I always say, I enjoy talking with all you guys, so it's like, as much as like it's quote unquote a pain, I also like enjoy doing it, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. Is this the one that wants to work? Oh, hi chat. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's also like nighttime, because here's the thing too, when it comes to streaming, this is just like thought process of my streaming, or when I want to stream and how I stream. But essentially, I don't like streaming unless I have the time to stream, if that makes sense. Like if I only have like an hour or two that I can like dedicate the stream and then I have to cut it off at that hour or two, I just won't stream at that point. I'd rather have it so it's like, okay, I can spend as much time as I want / need to streaming, and like if I do have a cutoff time, that's gonna be like in 5 to 8 hours. So it's like, that's kind of how I like rolling about streaming, because in my mind it's like, it's not really worth it to like stream for just a random hour or something. So that's kind of why I want to set up a like dedicated like stream day / time, because I feel like that will help out a lot when it comes to like streaming more frequently. Because right now it's just, once again, like I stream when I have time and I have something going on, but maybe if we kind of like get a series going, maybe we can make it like a weekly thing that I stream. So we'll see though, because mainly I want to talk about what you guys would personally like to see in a stream, because essentially I'd probably do some sort of like quote unquote series, like 100 days, like Nuzlocke, something like that. But I want to know from you guys what you want to see first before I just go and do something. Let's load in. Can also probably scoot up a little bit. I was scooted back because of Henry. I'm also going to drink the rest of my energy drink, which I definitely should not be drinking at 10:40 at night, but, or I'm sorry, 9:40 at night, but it is what it is. Also, I know I already said it in message form, but thanks for becoming a member, NJ. I appreciate it. Chat, if you see chat right now and you see MJ in chat, because she's the only other chatter right now, and she has that cool little speaker symbol with a glowing thing around it, that's because she is an awesome person and is a member. MJ, are you a girl or boy? I know this sounds very stupid, but just because of like text names, I'm never 100% positive, and I kind of like hate assuming. So let me know. But they are an awesome individual. We'll work with that for now. They are an awesome individual and are a member of the channel. Also, okay, cool. I kind of assumed so because of MJ, but I also had like a guy friend when I was in what was it, elementary school, middle school, who was also named MJ. So that's why I wanted to like confirm. I thought so. I just wanted to confirm. But this lovely lady has become a member of the Speakerhead channel, which is why she's got that cool little symbol on there. And that's why she gets access to cool emotes and emojis like the one she just did. And the more members we get, the more emotes we get, because I said it briefly in the video, but I'm actually like pissed that I didn't know that there was a limit on how many emotes you could have, because I was going to give you guys like 18 emotes. And then YouTube memberships is like, LOL, just kidding. You need to have like a certain amount of members to add emotes. And it's like, cool, whatever. But that is why I have a lot of emotes ready to go, and you guys just don't have access to them because it's dumb, and it's like, LOL, you can't give people that, you need more members. But if I have a Discord or anything and I can give you guys that for free, I'll essentially do that in the Discord. I'm glad you like them. I was very happy with how they turned out and everything. So, it's just, yeah. Same with the background. I know you're only a tier 1 member, MJ, but I'm super happy with how that desktop background came out. Like, I have it I wasn't kidding when I said I actively have it as my background. If I didn't say that, I do. And yeah, I just think it's like really cool. The artist did an amazing job. So just like, same with the emote artist, they did a really good job, and I got a bunch more. Like I said, I'd love to give you guys, but no, YouTube's like, screw you guys. I will say eventually I might try to do something where I either just on some alt accounts get memberships so you guys get more emotes, or I'll just like pay somebody to become members or something. But I would like to just give you guys those emotes in some way, shape, or form. and I, at least for like 1 or 2 more emotes, I think it's only like a couple more members. So it's like if I need to like pay $2 or $3 to get you guys some more emotes, that is totally fine with me, in all honesty. That is a price I'm willing to pay, chat, literally. I don't know what's going on over here. Can you calm down? Thanks. But anyways, chat, going on tangents. We're gonna be building a skill fruit mega base because someone in my comments suggested I make that. I don't know if I could probably pull up their name right now on my phone quick. But essentially, an individual asked that I make a mega base for skill fruits and also storage. So we're going to kind of do a 2-for-1 for this base, and we're going to make this a mega storage base along with a mega skill fruit base. So we'll see how things actually go. But what was her name? I might need to find it later, but yeah, someone suggested or asked that I make a yeah, someone asked me about making a new mega base, and I don't know where the comment is. Right here. So sorry, that took a lot longer than I thought it to find. It is Ashatron06 suggested I make a pal fruit or a skill fruit and storage base. I'm glad he liked the base building. I mean, it's fun to do. My main problem at the moment, though, is that I'm running out of actual bases. Like, I had demolished one of the base, or PAL boxes at my, like, big, like, multi-mega base. So I might have to download a mod to get more PAL boxes. But other than that, or, like, just copy the world and start making base on there. But I'd like to try to keep everything on one world, so I think I'm going to download a mod to do that. But, yeah. They suggested I make a skill fruit base and stuff, and to be honest, it's probably not a bad idea if we get any future skill fruits and stuff. Plus, I'm sure many people would like to have some sort of setup for that stuff anyway. So let's quickly cleep. What's going on, Atox? Welcome to the stream. I always feel to see it. It always like makes me like warms my heart, and also makes me feel bad at the same time when I hear people being like you and MJ and stuff being like, "Oh yeah, I'm waiting for you, checking see when you're uploading a video all the time." It's like really sweet. Like it genuinely like is really sweet of you guys to say, but at the same time I'm like, oh, I feel bad now. It's like now I feel like I need to get stuff up faster. But I'm doing well, Atox. I hope you're also doing well. But you didn't miss too much. We were just chatting and stuff. Yeah, I mean, hey, to pay for food for them, kind of. But we were talking about how we're gonna try to start streaming more frequently. If you stick around towards the end of the stream, this is gonna be a shorter stream, like a 3-hour stream. But we're going to talk about some stuff for some future stream plans, like 100 days on a world, or like a Nuzlocke or something like that. So I want to start figuring out what you guys specifically want to see on top of what restrictions and rules we want to do. Like, for example, Nuzlocke. What are the rules and restrictions? What's the end point? What am I restricted to, etc., etc. So Just finished breeding my farming pals, all maxed out. And very, very nice. To be honest, that's even better than me, because for my farming pals, I don't have max IVs. I usually just do that for combat, but honestly, probably not a bad idea for just general breeding purposes. Gives you a lot more options compared to just one pal that has max IVs, but very nice. Perfect timing. That is, like I said, I'm always all ears for any sort of suggestions people have on videos. When I get around to the videos, that's a different story, but I'm always down to listen to people's ideas on like stuff they'd like me to make, because I mean, besides the guides, I'm just down to vibe and do whatever. So, and also, yeah, I'll try to make videos at my own pace. Let's just say this, I'll still try to make them fairly frequently, just like I always keep saying. Once I get an editor to help me out with things, so that way at least like the editing chunk of things is out of the way, so I can like focus on the actual streaming and content, or like actually, how am I trying to say this? Not having to edit means I can focus on streaming and doing the fun stuff instead of sitting at my computer for 8 hours editing. Which, by the way, chat, I know you guys watch my video, but I actually want to go watch this one part, because this one part is solely the reason why this video took a whole extra day to come out. Let me do this quick, chat. Hold up. Don't break my computer. Okay. We'll do that. That's not the right screen. I want a full screen. This one. So chat, I want to go in this video real quick. Which, by the way, I don't know if YouTube's just not... Oh, that's ass. I don't like hearing myself chat. But I don't know if like YouTube is just like not suggesting this video, but this video is doing boo-boo in terms of like views. See, and I'm not complaining about like 300 views. It's like I'm still glad people are seeing it, but compared to like most of my other videos, they'd at least... This is like essentially 2 days in. By like the first like couple hours on most of my other videos, this is how many views they would have, which is why I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's the Victor part that took so long to do. Yeah, right there. I don't know what is happening. Oh god. Yeah, this part right here, chat. Hold up. Oh my gosh. Here's the problem. I'm streaming and my computer is like actively like dying on me. So it's like this is not working in my favor at all. I'm trying to do things, but my computer is like framing out. This part right here, chat, in the video, actually, oh my gosh, I'm like clicking out of everything wrong. Right here. This took forever to edit. Oh, not good.
Stop! You're breaking the law.
That part.
Come at me, buddy.
This.
I'm literally your dad. I have the birth certificate and everything. Your mom's gonna be mad. She made tuna casserole and you didn't want any. Chat,
do you know how long that took? That took me like 4 hours. Because I had to independently... I had to make this one. I had to do the birth certificate thing, which was also a pain. That's my handwriting, by the way, isn't it lovely? And then I had to like do like the... Oh my gosh, can I go like back like... First off, I had to also get that tuna casserole out. I had to cut all of that out. That was annoying. But then I also like cut the like hand around so it's actually like covering part of his face. This was so much extra work that was 100% not needed. I was just like, I thought it'd be funny. Yeah, I'm glad. I hope you guys liked it because yeah, I was just like, I thought it was funny at the time. I'm like, let's just do this. Why not? In any of my long videos, at one point or another, like actually, just because I'm thinking about it, one other video edit that I was kind of proud of that I'm a little disappointed in how it came out, just solely because when it rendered, it didn't render properly. But it was in this highlight video. I'm sorry, we're getting on tangents. We will go back to video stuff in a minute, or not video, stream stuff. I don't remember where it was. I think it was the first fight. Yeah.
Ow, ow. Let me in, let me in, let me in.
This looked way better during the editing process, but that little part right there took me forever because each one of those, each frame is keyframed.
Let me in, let me in, let me in.
It looks like, it
dead.
honestly looks way worse in the like video, which once again, because of rendering and stuff, it like kind of tweaked it and made it look worse. But that, I was proud of that at first, but it messed up, which made me sad. But yeah, chat, if I didn't do that one edit, my video would have came out earlier, which that's another thing I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it, when I uploaded that video, is just like kind of screwed it over, because I think technically got uploaded at like 2 a.m. for me. So I'm wondering if like the time like I uploaded it screwed it up. But I'm glad you guys liked it. Oh, you've edited before, MJ? Yeah, see, so you understand. It's just like some of that stuff, depending on what it is, can definitely be a pain to do. So, but I try, guys. I try to make it more interesting. Plus, that's another thing too. If I hire an editor, they could 100% do a way better job than I do. So you get even better quality videos. So, welcome back, Kate. That's another thing too, chat. I have a Henry emote, but I can't give you guys that either because YouTube sucks. Needy cat. See, he does this. He hops on my lap and then he demands pets. Like, bro, you already get to sit on my lap. You don't get laps and you don't get lap sits and pets. You little needy stink. Talking about you. Just do your little back twitches and relax. Let's turn back on the music. Sorry, Henry. You guys there. You guys can see my YouTube algorithm. This is what I watch. So I watch that. Let me do that. There we go. We're back to game. There we go. By the way, once again, I hope the music volume is all right because it always sounds different in my ears compared to you guys. So let me know. What's going on, Mr. Lime? Welcome to the stream. We've had 2 OGs pop into chat recently, or this stream. We had Crates earlier. Now we got Mr. Lime, aka Bismarck. Welcome. I wish I had a cat, but my mom is allergic to them. See, it's funny because I never thought about owning a cat because I thought someone in my family was allergic, which I found out later that my little brother is a little bit allergic, but like that definitely wasn't like the person we were referring to back when I was like a kid. But yeah, I talked to my dad recently. He's like, yeah, no one's allergic in the family as far as I'm aware. So I'm like, why have I never thought about owning a cat? So yeah, that's why I own Henry. Honestly, I got him as a friend for my dog because my dog's got hardcore anxiety and always needs his dad's attention. So I got Henry because I thought he could use a friend. But then instead of them being friends, well, they're friends, but instead of becoming like friends and them like playing and like hanging out with each other, they're both just really needy. So now I have 2 needy furballs that want my attention. So it kind of backfired. So now I need a whole nother cat and a whole nother dog to make up for it. That's how it works, chat. And then if they want my attention and don't get along with my current animals, then I have to get a whole nother set of dogs and cats. And then the line continues until I have an army. Did you actually see the idea I was talking about? Was it a comment you left before Atox, or was it in the chat? Oh wait, here it is. Sorry, I did miss it. I was thinking of passive pals only, where you can only capture and breed pals that don't naturally attack you. Pals like Wixen, Mammoris. That's a pretty good idea, actually. I'd have to, I think the main thing about that is I'd have to get a list of pals that are passive pals. Because I don't know every pal that is like passive towards you off the top of my head. But no, okay, that's actually a very interesting idea, Atox. Let me write that down actually, because my memory is doo-doo and I'm gonna forget. But I like that idea. Video ideas. I have a different notepad for this, but I'm gonna just write this on this one. Passive pals only. Pals not aggro towards player. There we go. But sorry about that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did miss it. Let's see. Just because I quickly see it. Hello, Chris. What's your favorite low tier combat pal? That's a good question. Personally, Jolthog is like my favorite like low tier pal. Just because he's adorable and precious. He's also honestly not bad for combat, just because he pretty much acts as an infinite like high tier or high powered electric grenade. And then there's maybe some other ones, like I don't know if you consider Krogduro low tier. I mean, I have my goated Lamball, so it's just like, and we essentially beat every tower boss besides Bastagor with them, which if I ran it back with Vanguard and Stronghold Strategist on my premises, we definitely could do it. But yeah, I'd say in terms of low tier, Jolthog. I don't know if I'd say specifically for combat. I just kind of like Jolthog, but I mean, they're not terrible. Like if we're talking like lowest of the low tier, they're probably my favorite just because of their like I said, because they're precious, and also the fact that they're literally like an infinite electric grenade. And if their partner abilities upgraded, they're actually pretty solid. So hopefully that answers that question for you, Chris. Thanks for asking. I got you on that. I do that for you. It's gonna be crazy difficult though, knowing you can't breed or catch any legendary pals for your. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's just say this: it'll be possible, considering that we essentially, like I said, we beat the hard mode tower bosses with a Lamball. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy. It's just like I said, the main thing I'm thinking about is that I would personally have to like find a list or make a list of passive pals, because I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I like the idea. But Dire Hall is mine, gives me Twilight vibes. I like Dire Howl. They were like my first like main speed pal that I used to get around the map. It's just yeah, you know, I guess it really depends on what you like determine as like a low tier pal, because like there's some pals that some people would consider low tier when others would be like, oh, that's probably like more like mid tier. So, because Dire House is kind of even in that middle range where it's just like I would consider them kind of close to mid tier, but I could see them technically being low tier. But yeah, they're pretty solid for combat, honestly. I'd say they're also a pretty great choice. But this is the location, by the way, chat, where we're going to be building the mega base, or this new one. So negative 195, 700. But yeah, honestly, it's kind of funny that this person suggested this area because, chat, I literally have almost 5,000 hours in this game, and this is literally my first time on this world coming over this area. Like, I've done it on other worlds, but on this one, I've never actually came over here. So I was like, when he said that area, or said the location, I'm just like, oh, I haven't explored this yet. I want to make a god tier Lavander. I was gonna make a video on that. That's a problem, chat, and this is like a problem with a lot of my upgrade guides, is that I had so many pals already upgraded and ready to go for these guides, but then once Faybreak came out, it's like, by the way, all those pals you had fully upgraded and ready to go, JK, now you gotta get brand new passives on all of them because there's new ones. So yeah, it kind of like screwed me over and I had to redo a lot of my pals. So I did have Lavander fully upgraded, but now it's obsolete. It's still a good pal, but the problem is just like with like Demon God and like Vampiric and stuff, Diamond Body, Invader for Dragon type pals. It's just, yeah, it's really annoying that I had to go back and redo them all essentially. That's not including like upgrading their levels and like the giant pal souls and all that other stuff. So oh really? That's funny. No, or this spot is outside of Faybreak. So this has been around on the map since the beginning. So essentially it's just this lower part by the volcano here. So it'd be like the spot where you fight the boss Lunaris, the boss Gumos, stuff like that. So this is like the initial spawn area. But I think it's a pretty good spot, honestly. Like, it's, especially right here specifically, it's a pretty open area where you could honestly, if you really try, you could probably build like 2 bases in this area, like one on this side, one on the other side. But not too bad of an area at all. So I think this is gonna be the game plan. We're gonna grab some supplies to carry in hand. We're gonna start building some things because I think the game plan is we're gonna keep this as our kind of position. I kind of like where this is placed, so I think we'll keep the actual PAL box here, but we're gonna like delete it and build it on platforms. So and other than that, I kind of have an idea of how I want to try to build the space, but things might change solely based on what the game allows me to do. But we'll see. I kind of want to change things up and do I'm aiming for a Japanese style aesthetic for the space. So because it's a very low level area, most of the time I usually make them out of metal. In this area, I don't really care. If I really want to, I do have base deterioration at 0, and I can make a metal border around the space if I want to. So it seems like a pretty good spot. Because you save so much time instead of flying around the map for my farm spot. Hey, there you go. That's why another reason why I kind of suggest my base spots in my base build videos. Just because once again, some of these spots are kind of hard to come by, like ones that are really massive like this. Like heck, once again, this was a suggestion by a viewer. I really didn't even think about this place. So if anything, you can thank that viewer, because he is our, and once again, don't want to assume genders in 2025. But no, they were the one that suggested that, so you can definitely thank them for that, because as we always say, chat, we learn together. I teach you things and you guys teach me things. I actually have one last question for now, but I don't want to really bother you. I feel bad for asking. No, I mean, that's the point of these streams, Atox. It's like, we're here to chat and just vibe. There's no harm in asking questions. If anything, it's helpful because it gives me stuff to talk about. Really good. Oh yeah, okay, so I already read that. I just want to make sure I caught up on chats. But let's build a little hut for us so we can sleep. I thought I had my day time down, but I might not. It's whatever though. There you go. Isn't our little hut pog chat 2 walls in a row? Sleep time. Oh, sorry, chat. I got the sniffles. But I think the plan is gonna be this, chat. So, we're gonna blam. See, I thought they made it so weapons that do like uber damage don't drop items anymore. Did they reverse that? Or is that only on like trees and stuff? But I think the game plan is though, chat. We're gonna destroy the PAL box. Let's destroy this first. I wanna make sure we got all the room we need. So. More or less right here-ish. Got it. For now, we're gonna build with this floor. I see that Mamorist. We'll build it like this for now, but we'll see how things actually kind of go. So now we'll use this as like the thing that the PAL box is gonna go on, and we'll use that as a bit of a schematic for figuring out how we want to actually design the space and everything be level and lined up. So we'll just kind of go like this. So remember, we'll do a 5 by 5. 1, 2, 3. It was this one that we were building on, so we want to build one more on this side. That. Alright. The reason why I'm doing a 5 by 5 is because once we actually place the PAL box, it's going to start getting in the way of things. So I want to make sure that we got all of our floors placed so we don't have to worry about that once we place the PAL box. Yeah, I think it's a little dumb, honestly. It's just like, it's a little annoying, but it is what it is. Oh, okay, it's like 10 to 20k. So yeah, maybe it's just trees are easier to destroy. But let's build the PAL box. So this is the center one. This. Alright, this is gonna be the kind of annoying part. I always hate placing the PAL box. It's always the trickiest part because you can't like zoom in on it. I think that's for the most part lined up as good as we're gonna get. Once again, it's so hard to tell from this distance. We're gonna place it just more or less right here, and I hope that's somewhat in the middle. Okay, I might actually pull that back like an inch. This is the beauty of building, chat. It's just like eyeballing, and then I have OCD, so it's like it's all just kind of like going back and forth, like, okay, I think that's straight. No, I think that's straight. So we're gonna assume maybe more like this. It's kind of middle-ish. And now it's too far that way. Yeah, chat. So if you're, for all you guys wondering, it's like, oh, speaker, you make your things so nice. How do you do it? It's because I spend 8 hours on one thing. We're replacing this one more time, and then I give up. Is that straight? Straight enough. We're gonna place it here and hope for the best. Not too bad, honestly. I'll take it. I want all my farming pals to have the same active skills, and I was curious which one do you recommend for each pal, like Chickapee, or the Chickapee guide with Holy Burst, Beam Slicer, and Flame Funnel. If you're all farming pals have the same active skills. That one's a little tricky, just because I guess the main thing is that I personally like giving my farm pals some weaker attacks, just because you got to be careful with certain attacks. A good example, you don't want to give them any fire attacks, because that could cause your base to catch on fire if you have any wooden structures. You also don't want anything that's going to cause like big area damage, like any tornado things or whatever. So I would say, in all honesty, actually, this is probably a good example. The Mighty Coward. So for him, I have Air Cannon, Power Shot, and Air Blade. Air Blade's probably the most destructive out of the three, but it does a heck of a lot of damage. Air Blade is just a great one to have on a lot of pals, just because it's pretty overpowered. But I'd say moves like that, you can kind of swap it up with some of the lower tier watering moves. Or like, not just watering, just like other elemental attacks. I would just, once again, I would stick away from any that can cause like burn damage. So like dragon and fire moves. And I'd also try to stay away from any that's going to do big massive attacks. Just try to add moves that'll do, like, for the most part, laser like focused attack. So yeah, I would say Airblade. Airblade's a good one. Trying to think. Iceberg is also not bad, just because it's just a spike coming from the ground. Yeah, just once again, just any dragon moves and any fire moves, essentially, I would stay away from. The rest you can kind of pick and choose. I'd personally maybe go with something like what is Aqua Burst again? Which one is this? So this is the giant water ball. Like, this one's not bad either. So for a water move, Aqua Burst. But then other than that, yeah, it's just once again kind of a pick and choose kind of situation. Just, as I've said numerous times, stay away from anything that's going to cause any burn damage, because that's just going to be a headache for later. Or like another one for grass, like a multi-cutter. That's another good one. Or like the grass blades in general. But Also, the fact of having low powered attacks means your pals will be using those attacks much more frequently. So considering that your base pals aren't going to be having a lot of power anyways, you're probably going to want them to be attacking fairly frequently. And on top of that, if you upgrade your what's it called, your pal labor research laboratory, you can upgrade their attack and offense. I mainly want them for defense. Okay, yeah, so I just read that. Personally, what do you think are the best or 3 best grass skills? That one's kind of a tough one. I'd say wind cutter was the other one I was thinking of. These two are probably some good grass ones for like low tier defense. In terms of grass for defense, I would say if you're just talking about like, if let's say hypothetically you're fighting a boss, like a raid boss or something, or I'm sorry, tower boss, not raid boss. I apologize. Once again, late night brain don't work too good. Both the vine ones are pretty good. It's like vine spine and vine something or other. I forget off the top of my head. So like which one is my go-to one? This one. So solar blast is okay. Circle vine and spine vine are the main two that I like to use with grass, but if you're looking for something that's kind of fast that you can like frequently use, I would definitely say multi-cutter. Multi-cutter's pretty solid. And then once again, wind cutter is just a mini version of that, but most of the time that's just a basic pal's attack, or grass pal I should say. But yeah, I'd say my 3 MVPs for grass. That's kind of a sucky part, and that's why I always kind of say that they got to give more varieties for attacks, because a lot of elements kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to attacks, because it's like any of the laser ones just suck, in my opinion. Half the time the hitbox just doesn't work with it. So I always hate using any of the laser ones, like Solar Blast is a great example. But yeah, a lot of elements just get the short end of the stick. Like Dark type is the most frustrating one. It's like, unless you breed down Dark Wisp from Splatterina, all dark moves suck. Dark Laser sucks. Apocalypse sucks. Like, even for an area attack, Apocalypse kind of sucks. The tornadoes don't even move around, they just sit in place. And the Nightmare Ball is like the best like dark attack, and it's like cool. Which level can we build skill fruit? If you're talking about like the skill fruit orchard, let's find out, because I don't remember. Oh wait, I think I tried searching it up and I couldn't find it. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be lower down. Let's try searching skill. Search. Oh, cool. It actually popped up this time. Level 48. There's your answer. So pretty far down in the chain. Yeah, but level 48. Sorry, we'll just go and catching back up on chats. Yeah, 2 spine ones are good because, yeah, exactly. That's another reason why they're pretty good. They give that rooting effect as well, which is why I suggest them. But yeah, once again, it's kind of a tough call for some of these, or for some elements, because it's like, that's why you'll see in some, like, good example for most dark type upgrade or dark type pal upgrade guides, you'll see that I most of the time only use like 1 or 2 dark type active skills, and then use a third of a different type, because once again, I think dark type is very mid in terms of their attacks that they have available to them. Dark Wisp is good, but the fact you have to breed it down on other pals, and it's like a chance of getting it on the, like your or on the offspring of that pal, it's just a lot of work, and I don't like doing that for every pal. Yeah, there's a few that don't have skills like that. I know water doesn't have a buff. Um, ground doesn't have a buff like that. Um, dragon didn't until invader. Um, but yeah, there's a few element types. Neutral technically has Celestial Emperor for the 20%. That's on Palladius. But in terms of like the 30% though, yeah, some are kind of limited. Because Lord of the Sea is only the 20%. Yeah, exactly, MJ. See, every element has at least the 20% boost to their element type, but in terms of the 30% boost, there's still a few element types that are missing, which is why it's kind of frustrating that 2 of them that give that 30% are dark type specific. So it's like Siren of the Void and Invader, so Dark and Ice, and then Dark and Dragon. So it's just like they gotta stop giving us they gotta stop focusing on dark, and if they're gonna keep focusing on dark, they gotta give us better stuff to work with dark, because once again, Nightmare Ball kind of sucks, and considering that's quote unquote the best like move besides Dark Wisp and Dark Laser, it's just like they just need better skills. That's what I'm saying. They also just need to not give us dark type pals for like 3 updates in my humble opinion. Getting back to this though, chat. So this was kind of my thought process. I'm thinking, let's build these floors out, but I'm thinking we have like a staircase to like left and right staircases that lead up to like a patio that lead into the main building to kind of change things up. So, we'll see how it goes. That's the theory and what I'd like to do, but we'll see if the game actually allows me to do that. Yeah, see, that's why I'm kind of hoping that like the next raid boss will be like not a dark type pal. It'll just be completely different. And if it's going to be completely different, I also hope that it's not going to be just a reskin like Blazimutt Ryu. It's like I'd like a brand new like not dark type raid boss, please and thank you. Personally, I think even though I'm not a huge fan of like the grass type, like I think like some of them look cool, but like I like other types better. I think having a pure grass or water type raid boss would be sick. Like I think it'd be awesome. Hold up. Blam. Blam. You guys mind? I'm trying to build. I do. I will say every time I just see like the bodies just ragdoll as I shove them around, it always makes me chuckle like an 8-year-old every time. Alright, so let's keep building this out. I don't know if I've ever actually even showed this process off to you guys, but this is how I always figure out like the dimensions of my base. I just build out like the entire floor area and then I delete stuff to figure out how I want the base to be built. I think I might have shown it in maybe one other base build. I don't fully remember. Chat, I barely remember what happened yesterday. They do have like somewhat of a base alignment tool, so like they have the thing, like I call it the snapping tool, but they have the thing where you can like for me I'm clicking right, or yeah, right trigger, but it's like you can pull it. The only problem is that it does have some issues. sometimes, which is why I use in one of my base videos I dubbed it the cone technique. But it's just like, yeah, I will say for some buildings that don't have a snapping ability, like the ranches, that is really freaking annoying. My OCD hates that as well. But yeah, as I always kind of say in terms of building, it's definitely janky, but you can do a lot of things you want if you just kind of learn how to work around the janky system. But yeah, I agree. Some buildings like that where you can't like actually align them, I do get genuinely frustrated with, because I'm like trying to place them, and then the problem is that I'll like try to place them straight, and then I'll try to use them to like align other things, and then I'll find out there it's like, by the way, it wasn't straight in the first place, stupid. So then, yeah, then it's just like in my mind where I'm like, it's not straight. So I feel it there, Atox. My OCD actually is in pain every single time I see that or try to like line that stuff up, which is why I don't even go based off the box. I'm like, if it looks straight, it's good enough for me. You can sometimes, I don't know if you're specifically talking about ranches, MJ, but you can snap with objects as well. It's just a little bit more tricky. So just to keep everything in the base. I also don't like having like the blue lines of the border in the base, which is why I always cut off the corners, chat. So I think this is gonna be the plan. I think we're gonna build a staircase here and here. Maybe. How does this look over here? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 for a little courtyard area. I think that'd be pretty good. And then we'll delete these sides. Let's delete up to here for now. I don't know how I'm 100% wanting to do this yet, but I don't think I'm going to want to destroy all the sides yet. We're going to do this, chat, because I hate how this night is going super fast. Did I adjust my settings? I feel like they're going, like the daytime is going way faster than what I normally have it set to, which, like I always say, I personally always set mine to days as super long because I'm busy. Yeah, see, the ranches, I'm not sure if you can do that with, MJ. That's what I was talking about. Some, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky because some things just don't like snapping. Like, good example, the PAL box, you can't do any sort of snapping with, which I think is a little ridiculous. I just killed your friends. Why are there more of you? Yeah, we're gonna do this, chat. We're gonna adjust daytime speed, and we're also gonna turn down PAL's spawn rate quick, because I don't want to keep shooting PALs every 3 seconds they get in my way. By the way, my pals have Vampiric, Card and Removal, King, Swift, and Master of Fasting. You think 3 hot springs are too much? No, if anything, 3 hot springs might not be enough. Kind of. Are you talking about just the regular hot springs or the high quality ones, Atox? Because for the lower tier ones, I usually try to have a decent amount of those, since those don't restore sanity as fast. But the high quality ones, 3 of the high qualities, I'd say that's pretty good. And maybe if you want to throw in an extra 1 or 2 of the regular small ones somewhere, just as like extra, go for it. But I think 3 should be more than enough. Also, that's a pretty good passive skill combination, especially for like defending against raids and stuff. And that's kind of this is another little side tangent. That's another hard part about giving suggestions for like base builds and stuff, because some people obviously care about raids and everything. I personally don't care about raids because, at least with my experience playing, I am either A, doing stuff when I'm playing, or B, sitting AFK. And I would prefer not to have raids every like 20-30 minutes or whatever, especially if I'm not around for them. So that's why I turn mine off. But I know some people play with raids, so it's like sometimes it's hard to like suggest base builds, because then like in the back of my mind I'm like, I should probably build this in a way that like would be prepared for raids, but I don't know. It's a hard like middle ground, chat. It's just like it's hard to suggest things that'll work. It's hard to make everyone happy, chat. It's an impossible task. I try my best, but I'm only one man with a plan. Yeah, so this is there. It's also that's, I hope I see my brain like farts sometimes, chat, and like I know I just click confirm, but in my mind like the second I clicked it I'm like, did I just click confirm or cancel? We're about to find out. I agree, and that was kind of my problem trying to build because my main thing was with my base build, chat, I was trying to I'm sorry, I'm saying things in partial, like, let me try that again, chat. What I was trying to say is, in my last base build, my all-in-one mega base, that was the problem I was having and why it's built on a 2x2 platform, because I was going to try originally build it just on a 1x1 and build it all off of that, but because of the way the PAL box is, I literally couldn't because of the borders. So yeah, that's why it's on a 2x2. And if I ever do any other like challenges like that where I have to build it on like a limited amount of platforms, a 2x2 is pretty much the smallest you can do without like every one of the sides of it getting in the way, so you can't build off of it unless you build in advance. But I don't even know if that'll work, because the borders might technically cause it to not be able to build there. But I don't know, something we can maybe test in the future. But hopefully, chat, now we won't have to sleep every like 3 seconds. I'm building this symmetrical right now, but we'll eventually split off. It's just I'm not totally sure how I want to do this yet. Because I think the game plan is we're going to do something like this. And then maybe like right... do I need... should we make this in by 1, chat? So should we bring like this outer staircase to the inner one, and instead of making this 7x7 a 5x5? Because I'm trying to think, because then if we do that, we might potentially be able to bring this out one more like that, so we get one more layer. You guys like that a bit better, so we move the staircase in one? Yes. You passed it. What, did you just go take your driver's test? What time is it? It's like 10:30 at night. What'd you pass, crate? Or crates? how'd you do that? What'd you mean you passed? Like, was it like the online portion of it? Like, I don't think you're taking your driver's test this late at night. The online test. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. I was like, what do you mean? But nice job. Now, what do you gotta do? I was gonna say, do you gotta do any, because I know that some things changed with COVID. Do you have to like go out and do any driver's stuff, or do you just, it's like, here's your license? I'm doing this wrong, so let's delete this. Elephant the elephant, get out of here. You're in my way. Be gone. I also hope not. As someone who's like does deliveries or like delivers stuff in my car, I can tell you it is like actually insane how many people should not have their license. Like it, especially like where I live, like people just do not care. It's like just today I saw like 5 people going like 30 plus over, and it's just like, bro, where the fuck do you need to go so bad that you're planning on killing like 4 people? Like, actually ridiculous, Chad. Okay. Did you have to do any sort of behind the wheels beforehand crates? Here's the best way of putting it, crates. I took my driver's test in 2017. I think I got my license pretty late. But yeah, it's like I took my license like 8 years ago. So I don't know how they, especially once again with COVID and everything, I know a lot of that stuff kind of like got messed up and changed. So I don't know how that works these days. Yeah, and you know, see, this is something I was literally thinking about the other day, Atox. Or yeah, it was literally just like a day or so ago. I'm like, I hope these like dipshit drivers realize the only reason why they're able to get away with them driving like psychopaths is not because they're like, in their minds they're probably thinking, oh well, I'm just such a good driver, I'm able to zip in and out of all this traffic with no issue. The problem is, what they don't realize is that the only reason why they're able to get away with their chaos BS is because everyone else is a good driver around them and is actually following the rules of the road, which is why they are not crashing into everybody, because everyone else on the road, they don't see, oh, this smooth driver is just coming through real quick. It's like he's just the best driver ever. No, everyone else on the road sees, hey, there's a psychopath zipping at me, not using a blinker or anything, and just like possibly like cutting off like 7 people. I'm going to drive even more cautious around this idiot because I don't feel like him slamming into me because he's not paying attention. Thank you, Gaming Impact. I appreciate it. Always kind of fun to hear about where everyone else is from. I'm from the boring US of A, so it's really cool to always hear where everyone's from. So it's very cool, from India. But yeah, long story short, I hope everyone who's a crappy driver and drives like does not follow any sort of rules of the road realize that they're not a good driver. They're actually horrible. The only reason why they don't get into any, by the way, most of those people, they already have messed up cars, so clearly they like should realize they suck at driving because they've gotten into an accident, which if you're a good driver should be 0 times, or potentially maybe like 1 or 2 if it's not your fault. Because once again, this is what I always say too, it's just like, it doesn't matter how good you are of a driver on the road, everyone else on the road is an idiot. So it's just like, I trust myself as a driver, but I trust no one else around me. So it's just kind of one of those things. No, nothing behind the wheel for the permit. It just I just have to wait. or have it for a year with a certain amount of hours behind the wheel, and then I drive. Okay, so you're at that park crates. That's where you're at. Okay, that's what I was making sure. So that still seems pretty standard from when I took my driver's test. So yeah, now you got to do a certain amount of hours and everything, and then you actually got to take your driver's test. But hey, I mean, the actual online part is important. So very nice job passing that. That's awesome. Almost driving to roundabouts when you're on the side. Yeah, actually, like that's a whole nother thing, and that kind of goes like with my whole conversation about people just not using blinkers or anything. It's like the only reason why you're able to get away with that kind of stuff is because everyone around you realizes you're an idiot and has to work around you. Like no one thinks you're a good driver or anything. Henry, leave the lizard alone. Stop it. Leave him alone. But yeah, it's just like people are dumb and it's just like, man, this is why I always say I hate people. Like I like you guys, but like as a race, I hate people in general. I think there's so many stupid people. I think there's so many people that just don't care. And yeah, it sucks, but that's just life, baby. But anyways, that's my tangent about dumb drivers. I will say probably, and this is like a little personal pet peeve. I hate people that drive under the speed limit. It's like, I know being safe, but it's like, no, you're just making it harder for me to get where I need to go. Especially when it's like there's no other traffic on the road. It's like, why are you going 10 under at 6 in the morning? Like, I got places to go, dude. I'm not driving at 6 a.m. for funsies. I will admit a lot of that has to do with me just being a very not on time person. A lot of it has to do with ADHD. I don't like to blame it on that, but it definitely has something to do with it, that's for sure. At least what I've been told by everyone in my life. But yeah, it's just like I'm bad at timing, so like I'm already running late and then I have people going under the speed limit in front of me. It's just like, with once again no traffic, it's like, why? Like I don't even care if you go the speed limit, just why under? All right, that's officially the end of my driving tangent chat, unless we bring up another topic. But yeah, long story short, as a delivery driver, I can officially say I hate 90% of the people on the road. I'm sure off the road, I'd be friends with many people, but on the road, I probably hate you. Especially if I'm doing deliveries and you're like getting in my way or you're just being an asshole driver. I'm like, you know, I like especially hate you at that point. I think that's not where I wanted to build that. I'm kind of trying to think about this. This is a whole nother thing about just side tangent about building stuff. This is kind of the problem with it. It's like, and this is why I say I usually, this is the reason why I don't do all these base builds in like one go. Sometimes it's kind of hard to like think of everything you want to do in like a few hour time span. Sometimes you can get a general idea, but then stuff doesn't go the way you want, or you want to redesign it, and that's why this stuff takes so long. Mainly trying to think if this is big enough for a little garden area. I think that's not terrible. This little open area for something. People who tend to park in the no parking zone almost never get fees. You park properly, you decide to park illegally once. Yeah, literally, actually, that reminds me of a story that happened at the old apartment I used to live at. So I used to live like in the city, and there's a spot where everyone, and I mean literally everyone, used to park, and it was like a loading zone, and no one would ever get tickets in that area. But guess what? The one day I stop home for not even 30 minutes to quickly take my dog out for a piss and shit break, That's when they're like, by the way, we are going to, by the way, I might almost bring this up one. I might not keep it on that floor. But no, literally like the 30 minutes I was in that parking spot, the second I start walking outside, stupid parking cop is putting a ticket on my car. I'm like, thanks, dickhead. And I literally told him, like, so do you plan on sitting here for the rest of the day and doing this with every other car that's doing this? Because I can promise I'm not the only one, so why are you doing it to me? And essentially I just told the dude to go fuck himself. Listen, chat, I respect a lot of people. I respect police and all that stuff. The one type of quote-unquote cop authority figure I will never respect are fucking parking cops, man. Those people can actually suck my whole taint in balls. I don't even care. They suck. They should know they suck. If you are a parking cop and you're watching the stream, know that you suck. See, the problem is, too, is, like, I don't know who'd want to do that job. It's like, you know people hate you for it. So it's like, why would you want to do that job? Yeah, we're going to do this, chat. So we're going to delete this. We're going to build it up here and hope this doesn't... Where's my revolver? Blam! Get KO'd, idiot. But... yeah, long story short, I agree that, like, I will say, too, another reason why I was specifically upset about that ticket, in my opinion, is because in that loading zone, it's kind of goofy, but there's, like, one spot right in front of the loading zone for cars. Like, it actually is, like, outside of the loading zone signs and is, like, perfectly, like, one car space. So it's just like there technically is a spot and I was parked in that spot, but dickhead, because like my bumper or something was like slightly over because I had a different car at the time. I think I had a Subaru. It's like because my bumper was slightly over the line, he's like, ticket. And I'm like, thanks, dickhead. But no, I agree. It is a very frustrating thing, Atox. Let's do this. Hoping this is enough room. Let's see, we're gonna build it right here on this one, I think. Yeah, this in the middle. Alright, so lettuce, tomato. Hello, Henry. Can I help you, my needy baby? No, that's might even be even more aligned than the lower layer one. Can I help you, needy child? And now he's gonna sit on both my hands and my controller, chat. Yep, there he goes. Did you know you just sat on like literally everything I'm doing technically right now? Do you even care? I'm talking to you and you're not even moving. He just went limp mode on me. You little bastard. Love you, but oh my gosh, Henry, you're making me drop my controller. Oh my lord. Cool. Do I actually need pal beds when all my pals have vampiric anyway? Yes and no. Technically for like sleeping at night, no, but your pals will sleep in the bed for like sanity reasons as well. So having some beds isn't terrible. But in all reality, you probably wouldn't need like the max amount. I'd say if you're gonna put beds in, like, I would say just stack beds in a corner. Like, do the stacking method. Other than that, like, I wouldn't say it's like 100% necessary, but it is helpful for keeping their sanity up, since, like, good example, even if your conditions are like good example, some of my bases, I have like a million high quality and like just regular quality springs and stuff. And I'll still get my pals to saying that they're stressed out just because they get locked to a station and are like crafting so fast. Like it mainly happens with my crafting Anubises. It's just like they'll just be crafting at like a gajillion miles per hour, and then they'll like their sanity will just drop like a rock no matter what I do. It's just like, and then they'll go sleep for a while because they're upsetty spaghetti. So having some beds isn't terrible, but I wouldn't say it's 100% necessary. If you have some high quality hot springs and maybe just a few beds here and there, I think that'd be more than enough. And like I said, if you want to like have the number like even with the amount of pals you have at your base, you could always just like bed stack in a corner or something. Henry, as much as I love you, when I'm streaming, it gets really hot. And guess what? My nuts also get hot when you're sitting on me, so I'm going to need you to move. I'm going to keep you here for like 5 more minutes, and I'm kicking you off because I am getting very sweaty. Knees weak, palms are sweaty. Henry on my lap. Mom's spaghetti. I love to put my work mode on every hot, but losing. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Even on just like regular work speeds, I have issues with sanity problems just because, and that's the problem with having my work speed like cranked up on every single one of my pals. It's just like they're working so fast that like they'll like their sanity will just drop super fast just because once again they're just working so dang quick. I think from here then we'll spread this out. I don't know if we'll keep this specific structure outline for this, but for now this is what we'll work with. And what we'll do is we'll delete these. We'll do the same on the other side. I'm kind of liking how this is coming along. It's just the main thing is I might want to bring this part in one more. Just because I want to give our actual base as much room as possible, especially if we're going to have like, if this is going to be a storage base on top of a skill fruit base. So, you know, let's do that actually. So we'll bring this forward by 1. Like that. And this is just getting back to what I was talking about, chat, where it's like I had an idea of how I want this thing to be built, but now that I'm actually building it, I'm like, you know what? Let's adjust some things. Then we'll extend this by 1. Delete this. Now we can have all this area underneath this as well for any sort of storage of stuff. I'll actually do this. Speaking of, once I force my pals to work hard, starving to have zero sanity, dude. It was heartbreaking. I felt really terrible because their facial expression. Yeah, see, I feel bad about that stuff. In my mind, I'm like, oh, they're just virtual creatures. But at the same time, it's like you still feel a little bad. It's just like they're cute and cuddly, and you don't want them to be sad. I also see my camera battery died. Rest in pepperonis. Yeah, it's tough, and that's why I feel bad. Like, I genuinely do feel bad whenever I go to a base that I haven't gone to in a bit, and like my pals were like out of food. I'm just like, sorry guys, I didn't know you're out of food. My bad. We'll switch camera batteries here in a second. I'm just kind of thinking about how I want this. So let's just actually put this up just so these might not be the permanent walls. I'm just trying to get an idea of where this is gonna cut off. I think, let me hop on Dave quick and get a more aerial view. Dave, come here. I'm kind of liking how it's coming along right now. Just once again, I don't know if I want the staircase to be that long. If anything, I might bring it in one more, just so we have this main structure for this a bit bigger. Because the main thing I'm trying to think about is just like, okay, well, each one of these plots for skill fruits is pretty massive. It's like bigger than one of these, so it's like probably if we have a row of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 if we extended one more, we could probably fit like maybe 6 in a row. Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen the face of the lamb ball, and I feel that's honestly one of the reasons, besides the fact, like, I mean, with how much defense I have, I don't really need it. I don't need a lamb ball shield, but that's another reason why I don't use his ability. I'm like, I'm sorry, friend. I don't mean to use you as a meat shield. The game makes me do it. Let's try shortening this one more time, because in all reality, this front part isn't going to be anything crazy. It's just going to be a little garden area. So yeah, I can't really do much with that. This damage is why this is smoking. Not anymore. Too lazy to repair. So let's build this. Let's try this. Build this wall here. That. I think that's looking a bit better, chat. So obviously got to destroy this inner layer, but I think that's gonna end up looking a lot better, along with just giving us a lot more general space. Then we'll extend this out again. We'll delete that for now. I think that looks better. What's going on, Bird? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well this day, night, evening, whatever time period it's at, but welcome. Came in right when I was about to hop out and quickly switch camera batteries, but so far we're just trying to figure out we're trying to figure out how we want this space to be structured at the moment, because I have an idea of how I want it to look. I just need to figure out I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. I just have to figure out how I want it to be actually like laid out in terms of like amount of walls and everything. Because I'll show you what we're working with here in a second. We were just pulling this out here a little bit. So let's just kind of put that there. And there we are. Okay, maybe not. Just kidding. Just prank. Thanks. All right. So what we're kind of working with right now, we got our little thing to sleep in for nighttime, but so game plan is we're gonna have a little garden area in this front little section here, and then we're gonna have a little patio that cuts off right here on that line, and then the rest of this is gonna be the main building. That's kind of the idea. It's just, once again, kind of trying to figure out how I want to lay that out so everything fits inside this circle. It's always the struggle. See, that's the problem with them making it a circle. I don't know why they would make it a circle, because it's like you literally, it cuts off the amount of room you have for base building by so much. They just need to make it like, they should, if not change the circle shape itself, they should just give options for what the shape of it is, like whether it be like a square or a circle or whatever. It's like they should make it so you can change that, because the circle, it's so frustrating to try to like get a massive size base because you always have stuff cut off. Hey, there you go. Like I always say, for streaming is a little bit more difficult just because you need a powerful enough computer to be able to stream and also play the game you're doing. But if you can get that all situated in a way to make it work properly, it's a pretty fun time. It's just a lot of like prior setup, like figuring out like what kind of bit rate your stream can run at, the actual like quality of the stream, any sort of just like general tweaks or issues you have, or anything you actually want to implement into the stream. Like, good example, like making this little thing for my dead camera. It's just like having stuff, or even stuff like the I'll be right back and thanks for watching screen. Just having little hotkeys and stuff all situated for that is also just a lot of tedious time stuff. Don't even get me started about notifications during your stream. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's a pain though. But I wish you the best of luck on that. I'd love to show you my bases and how I utilize space for solo. I get your point. But for online, it makes sense having cap. Yeah, I mean, let's just say this. It's not terrible. It's just like, here's actually a great way of putting it, Bird. The fact that it is a circle when all they have is square building materials. That is my problem. If they had like half squares, like triangle, like floors and stuff, I'd be totally fine with it. It's just the fact that they literally don't have that in the game. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, like I've said in the past, the main thing you need to worry about is just having a good mic. You honestly don't even need a face cam. I just have one just because I thought it'd make it nice. Plus, I try to use it for content creation when I can. But yeah, you just need a good mic, honestly, and that's all you really need. It's like everything else can come later down the line. It's just, as long as you sound good, that's the main thing people are gonna care about. And also, as long as your video quality isn't literally like 3 pixels, it might help a little bit. But other than that, just mic quality. But yeah, it's just one, like I was saying, at least about the base building stuff. It's like, it's like the thing we were all taught when we were kids. Squares do not go in circle holes. That's just not how the game works. If they made it so I can make the base more circular, I would be totally fine with it. But the fact that we do not have any sort of like angled pieces, like considering that that piece right there is the only triangle piece we have out of any structure building piece, that is annoying. And the fact you can't even flip that upside down is so annoying. So it's just like, I'm sure, yeah, the way you're able to build, I'm sure you got a lot better building techniques than me. I'm definitely not the best at it. But yeah, that's probably just my main, I guess, I don't even know if you want to say argument. My main issue with the circle is that, once again, there's no like angled pieces to make it work with the circle shape. You just kind of gotta build around it and then have corners cut out or like cutting through the circle that are technically still in the base, but not at the same time because they're going through the circle and it looks kind of ugly. It's just a personal preference, honestly. It's just, like I said, they got, or not even this right now, but like in all of my other streams, essentially, give us more building like pieces, whether that's actual decorations, structures, any of it. Give it to me. My OCT is getting so triggered because I can't align the ranches proud. I know it's a pain. My best recommendation, Atox. Oh gosh, don't laser my base out of existence. I'm sure it was too high anyways, but just to be safe. But what I was gonna do before shooting a bunch of lasers, I don't know what floors you're specifically using, but for ranches, what I would normally do, I don't have a thing. Hold that thought. That's going there. Isn't that so nicely placed, chat? Now I have resources. But what I was trying to say is kind of like what we were doing with the PAL box. Essentially, it's kind of hard to see, and I'll actually even do this fast. Hold on. Let's hide both of these so you can see my full screen. But what I'll do for the ranch is it's not going to be actually aligned. It'll be close, but not quite. But essentially, I'll just use any sort of lines on the floor as my little lineup marker. So as you can see, the right one is a little bit crooked. So now that's a bit better. That's usually like how I'd place it. So wouldn't exactly technically be lined up per se, because now if we actually try to use something to line it up, it's like not exactly perfect. It's not actually not too bad. I think it's more of the breeding ones, the breeding farms that have a bigger issue with that. But yeah, I mean, that's what I technically do for kind of lining up anything like that you can't snap. I'll just use any sort of lines or anything on the floor as my guide to figure that out. And it doesn't even have to be in the exact spot you're going to place it either. You can line it up somewhere else and kind of walk over to the place you're going to actually place it. Just use the lines on the ground as like ways of lining stuff up that don't want to snap, because there really isn't any better way of doing it, and I know that pain of trying to do it, so that's what I recommend. Love your backdrop vibe. I got some acoustic panels and spent way too much on a mic. I'm gonna use my here 10 for now. Hey, I mean, not bad. My rig was built for racing games. It's on triples. I'm stoked to start. Hey, there you go. That's awesome. I mean, that's the thing. You can't see it, obviously. I don't have my camera on, but on like the wall that I'm speaking towards, like this entire wall is covered in acoustic foam, so that helps with a lot of my stuff. But I know people will use that as like their background as well. But yeah, let's just say this. My background is just my figure collection, because I don't trust my animals being near them without me in the room with them. And then the lights and stuff. I know you guys literally can't see right now, but those like red and blue lights are literally just like lights you'd put in your front lawn and like light up the front of your house. That's literally all they are. But that's why they're so bright and colorful and stuff. I plan on getting a picture of it so I can just have a green screen. But yeah, that's what that is and stuff. But best way of putting it, Bird, I spent a ridiculous amount of time getting this stream set up, and I personally would like to get it even better. It's just I'm lazy and streaming isn't my main priority. But yeah, it took a lot of time to get to this point of how I want this stream to be set up. But once you get past that point, the streaming part of things is like super easy, especially if you're someone like me where it's like you're already playing the game, like doing stuff and can sit around for like 8 hours anyways. Streaming becomes super easy. It's just the problem is it's not super profitable unless you're really a big streamer. Let's see, can I invite you to my server and you place them for me real quick? I mean, you can invite me. I don't know about like right now, but I mean, you could. If you ever need help with anything, I can maybe try to hop into your server sometime and help you out. But yeah, I'm glad you like my mic quality. Funny enough, and this is what I was saying about mic quality. I mean, you don't need an insanely good mic like I got. Like technically, the mic I'm using, including the audio interface and stuff, it was probably like 300-ish bucks. But the mic I was using before this was literally just a Blue Snowball, which you can buy on Amazon for 30 bucks. I literally looked it up like a couple years ago. You can buy a refurbished Snowball for, I think the exact one that I had too, there was a few different models, but the exact one I had was like $30. And all I did was use a program called Voice Meter, and it made my mic sound a lot better. So if you're using a USB mic at all, I know you got a Shure. So I think as long as you're using the 7B, and I don't think there's a USB version. I could be wrong though. I don't remember what the Shure is, if it's USB or not. I think it's a regular God, my brain is farting on terminology right now. Like I said, chat, when it gets late at night, my brain don't work too good. See, my brain keeps on wanting to say I think it's an SLR mic or XLR, but I don't remember the term because I keep on wanting to say DSLR, but that's my camera. That's what I use for my face cam, by the way. I use a DSLR because I don't know why. I got it because I thought I'd use it for content creation, and I don't show my face in my content, so doesn't that work out well? But chat, we're gonna quickly, on that note, let me know if yours is the one that plugs into the audio interface or if it's the USB version. I don't even know if there's a USB version, but let me know, Bird, because that's like the go-to mic everyone picks. I just went with the Rode just because it was like the newest Rode that came out. I forget what this thing's even called, but the 7B is definitely a good mic. It's just the main thing is making sure you know how to set it up so it sounds correct and everything. So you might need to go either in OBS or in like depending on what kind of audio interface you have, if there's any sort of way to adjust that sound levels, because that's the main thing too. If you just have an audio interface versus sound deck, you can usually kind of adjust that stuff on the fly. Just an audio interface is more of just capturing the raw audio and then doing After Effects on it. I have a built-in audio deck on that. Okay, I gotcha. So I have tons of ports, but you need an amp. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have that stuff, it's all internal on your system, or Yeah, on your like audio deck and everything. Yeah, if that's all internal, then yeah, that's definitely a good way of going about it. Just most people don't have that stuff already built, and most people have to get that kind of external system. But yeah, I mean, if you got like the stuff to actually properly go for the XLR mic, I definitely recommend it. It's just, yeah, for anyone else listening who doesn't want to drop 100 minimum on a mic, get a Snowball and then download Voice Meter. You'll sound great, I promise, or at least as good as a $30 mic will get you. And I'll be honest, it doesn't even sound that bad by using Voice Meter and a Snowball mic. Like I said, that was literally the microphone I used for a long time, and I still think it sounds pretty good. It's a big cost afterwards. I went, yeah, see, that's the thing. It's just like, if you put the time into like stuff, and that's even with my audio interface. Like, I have the Volt 2, which has 2 ports for microphones. And obviously I'm one person and don't need 2 ports, but I got it because in case I ever do music stuff in the future where I need to like plug in another thing for instruments or whatever, or I just have another person in my room with me at the time, like just having that second port is gonna be so useful, and I won't have to spend another $200 on an interface just for another port in the future. So just kind of one of those things. I do not use Streamlabs. I just use regular OBS personally. Essentially they're okay, it's kind of hard to explain. The best way of putting it is that Slobs or Streamlabs OBS is essentially just a carbon copy of OBS, just in a much more friendly aesthetic, I guess you could say. It's a lot more simplified and makes it look a lot more fun compared to OBS. It looks very boring and professional. But best way of putting it, they both get the job done. I've used both of them. I just personally use OBS just because that's what I personally like to use. And plus, I think you kind of can, at least in my opinion, I've had less issues with OBS. I personally had it where I was streaming on Slobs and it would crash, or just like issues would happen with it. So that's why I stopped using it, but I've used both in the past and I didn't mind really using them. I just personally, I feel like there was a reason why I specifically stuck with OBS, but I cannot think of it off the top of my head, because the problem is I switched like 3 years ago, or it might even be longer than that at this point. So I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head why I stuck with OBS over Slobs, but long story short, they're essentially the same thing. It's just oh wait, I think I know what it was. I think I was trying to set up notifications and it wasn't working, but on OBS it was. So I think that's what it was. But once again, I think that was more of just like an issue on my end rather than like the program itself. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. It's like, I kind of explained it poorly, but yeah, it's just like, oh, Slobs is like, if you don't know what you're doing with OBS, it's definitely easier to start on Slobs, but if you just jump straight to OBS, it'll be a lot more functional down the line and most likely more helpful for you in a lot of ways. Like I said, I can't specifically remember the reason. I think it was because like Stream Elements or something just did not work with my OBS. I also know it did have issues crashing, but once again, that could have been computer problem rather than program problem. Hello, Henry. My cat is being so damn needy, chat. But yeah. Long story short, doesn't really matter which one you use, honestly. Some people will be like, oh, you use Slobs, blah, or oh, you use OBS, blah. It literally doesn't matter. Best way of putting it, if it works for you, use whichever one works. I just personally use OBS, but like I said, I have used both of them, and they both work totally fine. On a side note, my buddy who's helping with is a full-time musician and stream tech on the side hustle. I'm lucky to have him. Hey, that's awesome. See, I try to be that for people I know that want to get into content creation and any of that general stuff. It's just, yeah, I'm not a professional. I just kind of do stuff that I think is fun and I want to do, and then we just roll off that. But yeah, if you got people in your life that's able to help you with that kind of stuff, definitely take their help, because as someone who did all this stuff by myself, it's a pain. There's definitely not like an easy way of saying it. It's just like, it probably took me like just getting OBS set up for streaming, like not even including all like this kind of stuff or whatever with the animated background and stuff, just getting the basic OBS stuff set up so my mic doesn't sound like crap and everything. That probably took me like a week straight of like testing just to like get that properly situated. And then like not even talking about like trying to like figure out video recording stuff and all that. Like I said, streaming for me is definitely a hobby compared to content creation, if that makes sense. That's why I always say, like, I'm not the best streamer. Also, I know I said I was gonna walk away and now I'm building again. Listen, chat, this is how ADHD works. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you can have someone that can like assist you figure this stuff out, it'll get you going on things a lot faster. Because it's like, I remember for like a week, I'd say, yeah, probably for like a week straight, I had it where like I was having issues with my microphone and it just wouldn't. Because this is another thing too, chat, and this was like why I switched over to an XLR mic over using my OBS mic. Because you're having to run through a whole independent channel for your audio using because what Voicemeeter is, it's a virtual audio interface. So the thing is that when you use that, it can cause more issues to your audio, because instead of it just going directly from microphone to whatever you're recording or streaming through, now it's going from microphone to this virtual input you have to have running in the background of your computer, and then it goes into whatever you're trying to stream, record, etc. So sometimes, first off, if you don't have that open, you're just getting no audio, period. So gotta remember to open that program, or else you're gonna record for 8 hours and not be talking at all, or no one's gonna hear you at least. And then the second thing is, once again, just because there's like that extra step, sometimes the program will like glitch out or whatever and stuff won't like process properly and you'll have issues with your mic. It's not super common. Once again, it could a lot of that could just be personal error on my end. But from my experience, having an XLR mic that essentially you just plug in an audio interface and say connect all audio sources to this, thanks, is a lot easier than OBS or Voicemeeter, where it's like you only have it connected to your mic, and then if you don't have it on, you're not recording, and then like I said, it's a lot more issues. Let's see. I appreciate that, Bird. That's really kind of you to say. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I go for. I mean, I'm not as much as I'm a quote-unquote content creator, chat, I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude sitting in my room playing video games. I know you've probably all heard of before, but yeah, it's just like I'm not anything special. So it's like, yeah, I'm just here to vibe, chill, hang out with chat. But yeah, editing for me is a little bit more of, I'm trying to make it more into like a job. But yeah, I'd say depending on what I'm doing, like we were just going over it earlier with my most recent video, I do like to edit. It just takes a long time. So, but yeah, exactly. See, I should have just read the rest of your message. It just takes so long. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just like we were talking about it for my little segment about Victor being like, I'm your dad. Legit, that took me like 4+ hours to edit like a 20-second segment, not even. So It's just like, if I had time, I would do it, but it's a lot of work. So that's why my editing is fairly limited. That's why I say I need to hire an editor, chat, so they can do all that fancy schmancy stuff. You have any desync with your cam and mic? For the most part, if I was using my snowball, I would have had a tiny bit. That's just inevitable, and that just goes back to the issue of having an extra component for your audio to run through. There'll just be an extra delay. But in terms of desync, I personally haven't had any issues from what I've seen, and no one in chat has ever commented on my camera being desynced with my audio. But that's the thing with having a XLR mic, it's just directly going into the system, so essentially audio should be immediate. As long, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, as long if you have a separate thing, but I use a separate camera. But yeah, I personally haven't had any issues, and once again, I think a lot of that has to do with just specifically having an XLR. Let's see. Grief. I appreciate that, Atox. It's super kind of you to say. Hey, well, that's why we're here. We're good vibes, chat. We're here to have good vibes. Like I always kind of say about my general life, I already have enough stress and BS that I already deal with on a day-to-day basis. So I'm gonna try to enjoy the things I like to do, and playing games and talking to chat and vibing is how I do that. Some people might not like it, because this happens a lot where I'm just sitting here doing nothing, talking to chat, but that's how I'll be. That's the vibe we bring here. We're here to talk. We're here to hang out. I personally think streams are boring when it's just the person playing and they're not interacting with chat, because at that point I might as well just watch a video. Like literally, I'll go, when people play like that and stream like that, I will just like wait until their stream's done and I'll just watch it afterwards and play it at like ×2 speed. Legit. But you play on PC and can join my guild. There you go. Hey, Atox. Bird is a very nice guy. He is more than happy to help you out. And like I said, I plan on doing some dedicated server stuff for the Speakerhead community in the future. I just gotta, like I keep saying, the problem is it's like I don't want to do all this stuff and like set these things up and then just not have the time to actually be involved with them. Like the same goes for the Discord server. I don't want to set up a Discord server and then never be on the Discord server, you know what I mean? It just seems a bit like counterintuitive. I don't know if that's the right word. It just seems like a waste of time if I'm just not even going to be involved in it, you know? It's like, if I'm going to make it, I would like to be involved in interacting with everybody and doing things rather than just like, here you guys go, have fun. Here's a good way of putting it, chat, and I'm sorry if I ever do any sponsorships like this in the future, but if I ever like promote like a mobile game, there's a giant chance I probably am not playing that mobile game. And I always hate seeing those ads for people who are just like sponsor these super stupid like mobile games, and they're just like, join my clan and maybe we can play together, and it's just like, that's never happening. Don't lie. You probably already have the app uninstalled. I mean, I can help you with that, Atox, but I mean, if you also join Bird's server and stuff, I'm sure that he'd be more than happy to help you, or someone in his server would be happy to help you. Yeah, literally. Listen, chat, just because my videos say paid promotion doesn't mean I'm lying. And no, but in all seriousness, here's the thing I will say about my sponsorships. If I ever have any sponsorships, I will only take sponsorships for ads and stuff that I think either my community would like or I would personally be interested in. So for example, the reason why I took this Berry Bite sponsorship which thanks again, Barry Bite, for sponsoring. Use 20, get 20% off. Use the speaker 20 at Barry Bite. Sorry, gotta throw that in chat. Use my code. I want to get paid, okay? I like money. Is that such a bad thing in this economy? But no, like I was saying, the reason why I took that sponsorship is because I figured that some of you guys, excuse me. First off, I thought some of you guys would actually could get use out of that 20% off, since I know you guys are already, a lot of you guys already talk about dedicated servers. So if any of you guys are making a dedicated server, if you go through Barry Bite, you can save yourself some money. The second thing is that if I ever plan on doing any like future dedicated server stuff, I figured having or starting to work with some sort of server company would be a good play, because then maybe in the future we can work out some deals to have some dedicated servers run through them. You know, you get where I'm getting at. But that's why I did the Barry Bite sponsorship. They're also very chill about that kind of stuff too. I'm not like on any sort of like signed contract, which is another reason why I took it. But I'm sorry to hear that, MJ. I'll say this, don't ever apologize for not interacting too much. Like, the fact that you even popped in just to say hey is more than enough for me. Like, it's already sweet enough for you to do that. And same for all of you guys, that even if you just come in, say hello, and then leave, and you don't even gotta say bye, that's more than enough. It's already sweet enough for you guys to do that. But yeah, if you're not feeling good, MJ, I mean, don't feel pressured to chat and everything. We'll be doing more streams and stuff in the future and whatnot. We're just here, like we were saying, we're just here to vibe and have a good time. So sorry you're not feeling good, but hopefully you feel better. I've had those times too, and that's another reason why like streaming is kind of a struggle, because I'll just get moments where either I feel like sick or like I'll feel like super, like I think I have some sort of narcolepsy. Is that the one where you fall asleep randomly? Because I'll just get moments where I'm sitting in like my chair, like working on stuff, and then out of nowhere I'll just like essentially like be sleeping in my chair, or like I'll get a huge headache or something. I'll need to go lay down or something. It's just like, it sucks. But once again, I hope you feel better. I know that feeling of just out of nowhere feeling really crappy, but hopefully that goes away real quick. Yikes. What did you say about I like money? Or what you said about I like money gave me vibes of what inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab. Literally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, here's like the reality of things, chat. As much as I don't like kind of being like involving money into this stuff, in the reality of things, we're all adults here. I can't pay for my rent without money. I can't pay for my animals' food without money. I can't afford to do this whole streaming thing if I'm not having a revenue coming in to be able to do this stuff. So, yeah, literally speaks McDuck. Hey, listen, if I had a pool of gold coins, I would attempt to dive into it and shatter all of my bones slamming into it, but it would be fun for that brief moment. But long story short, chat, as much as I don't like having money like be involved, in all reality, if I can make content and not have to worry about bills or anything, I would love that. I would just make content. I would stream literally every day and make videos all the time. But unfortunately, the world doesn't work like that, and I have responsibilities and stuff, and not a political person at all, chat, but especially with all the stuff going on with politics right now, money be hurting. I was already not a rich individual before all this tariff shit. Now things are gonna be struggling, chat. So yeah, TLDR though, that's why in terms of like ads and stuff and like the memberships, it's all, as I always say, that is 100% optional. That's just if you want to support the channel. The sponsorships are more of a way to help make it so I can produce content more frequently, because this sponsorships, it's a little weird. We're not going to get in the nitty-gritty details, but some they'll just straight out pay directly, some they'll pay for every time you use a code or commission or any of that kind of stuff. But it's like, the more stuff of that I got going on, the more I can focus on actually content creation stuff, because yeah, I need to pay bills. So if I can have it being paid through sponsorships rather than me going out and doing deliveries for like 8 hours, I'll take that over doing deliveries. Thanks. Let's see. Wishing everyone in chat the biggest. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Family Guy ref. Yeah. Love me some Family Guy. Haven't watched it in a while, but some of the older stuff is classic. I was gonna say, yeah, you guys should definitely talk on Discord. Like I said, I do want to make a Discord server. It's just I gotta get free time to actually be active in said Discord server, especially if it's going to be like the speaker head community server. I feel like it's just a dick move where, once again, I'm just like, here's a server, have fun, but at the same time it might be helpful for you guys. So let's see. Speaker, first time having a proper cake farm or proper farm for cake farming. Man, this is such a blessing and relief. Seeing how perfect it is with my pals being maxed out. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet that feels great. And that's like the satisfying part about finishing all these mega bases. It's like once I actually have them complete and I'm actually using them, like, to be honest, I'm so happy I built that pal breeding mega base, because it's like I have been using that thing non-stop. It is so helpful to have 12 spots for breeding pals now compared to like what I had before, which was like 5. It's just like, it saves me so much time, especially for like breeding work pals. Like for this base, I was breeding a bunch of Yormantides and Anubises for watering and transporting, and having those slots 12 is just so much better. Well, there you go. Yeah, see, Bird's a really good guy. Funny enough, like, I will like at least recently, because I've been talking to the sponsorship stuff through Discord, but I've seen like Bird is like on all the time. That's the thing, I have my thing on private just because I don't know, I'm like not on often. Plus I don't like seeing I don't like people seeing what I'm doing all the time. Okay, mind your own damn business. But no, I just kind of have my thing off just because I'm never on anyways. Plus, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just the type of person, I don't like people seeing what I'm doing, and I'll let you know when I want to be active and noticed, okay, chat? That's the best way of putting it. But yeah, we'll figure out a Discord thing, because I think that'll be helpful for just like general community discussions and stuff. That way you don't gotta just do it in my chat. So we'll figure out something for that. I feel that Atox, like, that's why you'll see my bases, like, that's why you'll see my base, like, the actual videos for my base builds go up, like, weeks after my, actual, streams, because, like, most of the time, that's just me spending extra hours just, like, doing little nitty-gritty, like, adjustments and tweaks to make things, like, fit my OCD needs, because I feel that pain. Hey, I mean, that's a whole nother reason why, besides just like, obviously like a few of you that I have added on Discord, just like my other friends, I just don't want them to like look at me and it's like, this guy actually doesn't get off of Palworld ever. It's like, because essentially because here's the thing too, it's like, I think I've definitely mentioned in the past, like my computer crashes less when I have a game running for some reason. So I just have Palworld running. Even if I'm not like in the game, I'll just be sitting on the lobby of Palworld just so, or like the main menu of Palworld, just so my like computer doesn't crash while I'm like gone at work or something, or like doing stuff. It's annoying. It's a pain. I just need a new computer. But I feel ya. Trust me, Bird. If I had my Discord actually like open and online, mine would look very similar to yours, where it's like literally says like Palworld 2 days. Probably more than that with mine, because I literally like never close it. But chat, remember when I said I was gonna change camera batteries? Well, this will kind of work out, because I mean it's like 11:45 for me, and then I plan on being done by like 1ish. So I'll change camera batteries, and I think my camera battery should more or less last until then. So let me switch camera batteries. Let me switch camera batteries. We'll take a quick break here, and then we'll build a little bit more on this base, at least to get this main kind of setup situated. And then we'll do another stream in the future, kind of doing the rest of the base stuff. So how long are you guys? I'm only going to be streaming, like I was saying, for maybe like another hour. Not too much longer. I do have work in the morning, but we'll probably stream for like another hour or so here. So, but like I said, let me change camera batteries so we can kind of get back to building and focusing on getting at least the main structure of the base down. But yeah, we'll BRB chat, and I'll be back in a few. See you in a bit, Atox. And in case not, thanks again for tuning into the stream. And also, welcome Rhythm, stopping in while we're quickly taking a break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with a new camera battery and everything. But welcome.
Alrighty, chat. We are back. Let's see. I gotta actually put on the camera. It's a black screen. Love to see it. Hold on. Hi, chat. All right. I was also thinking about it too because I did say we were going to talk about it. We're probably going to just build here for another like 30-40 minutes, and then we're going to start talking about some ideas for future stream like playthroughs. Because I'd like to do that. I just want to talk to you guys about it and kind of, especially if we're going to do like something where we need to figure out rules and restrictions like a Nuzlocke. I definitely want to talk to you guys about that to figure out how we want to do that. But I think let's do something like, I'm trying to think. Because I want to add windows. I'm trying to think if I want to have them like this, where it's in the inner part or the outer part. We'll stick with the inner part for now, and we'll see if that changes here in a bit. We'll just do this one just as a way of making, or like remembering that's where the door is. We'll do this for now, but this might end up changing. I don't know how I exactly want this yet. That's the beauty of that replacement tool, chat, is that I can replace stuff if I need to. Let's figure this one in. Yeah. So that's 2 in. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, I'm not totally sure how I want to do windows and stuff. We'll just kind of leave it like that for now. We'll probably add some in the back as well, but yeah, I'm not totally sure how I want to do that. We might even replace some of these with glass panes, but for the most part, I want to try to keep the Japanese aesthetic. Let's do this. Probably still gonna build this 3 walls high, just because it seems like that always works out the best for how movement and building stuff. All right. See, I'm almost like wondering if I want to have this corner cut off, because I might kind of mess up how I want to have this base structured, so... Excuse me, I have like phlegm. I need to go get some water or something. I think I might destroy this whole layer just because it'll make the rest of the building more aligned with each other, and it'll kind of work better with how I want to structure this base. This is just kind of like extra too, because as you can see, without this whole row, we got 2 and 2, but with it, we got this whole extra junk. So yeah, we'll just get rid of it.
Wish I would have decided this a little earlier, but it is what it is. Glad I at least decided it at this point rather than when the building's fully. Because chat, here's a little like, I don't even know if I've mentioned this, but for my all-in-one mega base, fun fact, that was the second attempt of building that base. I kind of built that entire base once, and then I didn't like it, so then I destroyed the entire thing, and then I built another one, which is a whole nother reason why that video specifically took a lot longer to come out. I literally built 2 bases for that video, so. But that's the thing, chat. Sometimes you gotta crack a couple eggs to make a cake or something. In my case, I gotta build a couple bases to make a video. Alright, because right now you guys might not see the vision, but I will show you the vision here in just a second. If this wants to build, that would be pretty cool. Welcome to the stream, Ryan. So, right now everything is going pretty alright with me, you know. Just surviving, especially through all this BS in the economy. But we're surviving, we're playing Palworld, we're having a good time. But I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're still enjoying everything. Hope everything in your life is going well. It's like, is that building there? Alright. So, chat, hear me out. So, we're gonna build this. And we're gonna build that. Then we're gonna build these. Then we're gonna do the same on the other side. Yeah, that's good to hear. It's just like, yeah, busy as ever. That's what I was saying. It's just like, it's sometimes hard to find time to make content because working 40 hours and everything, and then having to do all the editing on top of actually, you know, playing the game. It's like, that's the problem with making content about video games. It's like you kind of gotta play the video game in order to make content about it, or else I don't know what I'm talking about. Plus, like I say too, these bases don't build themselves. But other than that, doing pretty alright. Just trying to juggle everything, that's all. And that's cutting a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that. I technically work 2 part-time jobs. So I work part-time at a pet store along with a I also work part-time doing deliveries. So kind of similar to like DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, but yeah, that's what I end up doing. All right, chat, hear me out. We're gonna leave this for the time being. Hold on, is this technically, well, let me, hold up. If it's inside this thing, I'll keep it, but if it technically is outside the structure, we might need to do some adjusting. All right, so technically that is outside the circle. Minecraft villager noises. I don't know how I want to do that, chat. We're gonna keep it there just because I don't have any structure deterioration on, but that will be something we will keep a mental note of, that is technically not in the structure, because we might end up chopping that off or doing something to make it work. See, once again, Chad, that's kind of the annoying part about them giving us such limited building supplies for bases and stuff. It's like, can I have a corner one so that way it could actually be in the base? Thanks. But yeah, I guess getting back to your question, I work my part-time pet store job. I do deliveries, and then I do the video editing and stuff for the channel. Like, I make all the content here, and then obviously we live stream, and then when I get any sort of free time, I make music. So, and that's also just not even including, you know, my regular day-to-day life stuff. Not like work related, but yeah, you can say I'm a little busy. I love how it decides it's gonna build one way one time and then the other way. Thanks, game. I think it has to do with how I'm connecting it to the wall, but still lame. Yeah, I also find it dumb how it's like you can't rotate it on, or like platforms on connected to certain walls, and then like connect to other platforms you can. Like, good example, I'm trying to rotate this platform right now, I can't. But if I connect it through this, I can. It's like, I don't understand. I think the game plan is, chat, I at least want to get this floor done. And then from there, I want to start at least figure out where I want to have staircases and stuff to get up to this floor. We'll worry about that corner thing and being outside the thing later. That might just be another day kind of situation to take care of that and figure that out. But right now, I at least want to figure out how I'm going to have the staircases all kind of situated in here to get up. Oh, hello, Henry. Chat, like I said, especially when I'm like streaming, I don't know if it's just because he hears me talking a lot and it's like, well, who are you talking to, Dad? But like, he will become so needy whenever I start streaming. Ow, your claw is digging into my leg, dickhead. You mind? Thanks for showing my entire audience your butthole. Are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump you off. Are you okay? I didn't mean to bump. I was just trying to like get him to turn around. Are you okay? You want to come back up? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Bye. I didn't mean to knock you off. I just wanted you to stop showing my audience your butthole so I didn't get my channel deleted. Chat, would I get deleted for that? For showing my cat's butthole unintentionally? Henry, you pervert. Oh yeah, let's just say this. I get sleep when I can, but I already have insomnia. So it's just like, I already don't sleep well. So sometimes I'll be just up at like 1 a.m. or like 1 or 2 in the morning just because I can't sleep. I'm like, all right, well, we're editing a video now. But yeah, we get rest when we can. It's just best way of putting it too. Not gonna keep growing and get to where I want to be if I kind of half-ass things. So gotta kind of keep putting in full force, because the harder I work, the sooner I can make content creation an actual career. And then the sooner I won't have to work as hard. So there's give and take to everything, chat. So I think this is fine for this. But to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going for. So we're going for like little tiny wings off of it. I don't even know if I like how that looks, to be honest with you. I feel like this could look different. I definitely want to add some pillars and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how I fully like it, or if I fully like how this is looking right now. Obviously, with just all the white walls, I'm not a huge fan, but we'll see. I do like how the interior of this is structured, though. I think this is plenty of room. I think, honestly, the hard part is figuring out where I want stairs. Should it just be like right in the center? Well, we probably have to. Can I do right here? Cool. I didn't know if that was going to be too close to the PAL box. Oh, excuse me, chat. Oh, that's the problem, chat. Especially the longer I go streaming and talking and stuff, especially late at night. It's just like my throat gets all phlegmy. It gets gross. Oh, I didn't know you were heading out, Ryan. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Well, in case you're still here, I hope you have a good rest of your night. And yeah, thanks again for stopping in and chatting. It was really nice of you to say that stuff. But you take it easy now. Let's see. There we go. Think something like that. We'll go off this for now. Once again, all this might end up getting rebuilt later. I'm just trying to get a general idea of how I want this built. Something like that. There's that. I might need to rebuild that one. Europe. Whoops. And we'll build this too while we're at it. We got new build there. Thanks. Well, alright. I totally forgot that this is a dumbass. I totally forgot that this is only a one center thing. So what we'll do is we're gonna make this 3 wide. Because the reason why I don't want to make it, excuse me, chat. I apologize for all the throat clearing. But, the reason why I like having my staircases be at least 2 wide is because it seems like PAL's, pathing seems to work a bit better, at least in my personal experience. It just seems like whenever you have, like, more narrow paths and, like, make it more difficult for PALs to get places, they just obviously have issues getting to places, especially like upstairs and stuff. So I've just realized giving wide open spaces for your pals to be able to go up and down stairs where they have multiple pathing options seems to make it work a little better for getting pals up and down. Henry, did you know laying on my arm is not helping at all? Oh my god. Yeah, I might even get water here just because I can, like, feel. Because the problem is that the phlegm just makes my voice, like, voice crack, essentially. So it's like I can, like, hear I'm, like, talking different. I'm being dumb. I'm rebuilding the same thing again. God damn it, Bobby. That boy ain't right. So it's only 2. What do you mean not a structure? I'll like go underneath the staircase later and clean up as well. Now how's that looking? Let's also... There we go. So when you come in, it's not too bad. And then you still got all this area down here to build stuff on the left and right. And you have good way to get up to pathing for if we have anything up here as well. And the nice part that I like about building staircases like these is that you can essentially just keep copying and pasting them, maybe without all these extra walls and stuff. But essentially, you probably could if you just actually build a little like inner column thing where you got to go inside of doors and stuff. I personally like having the areas more open and accessible to pals, but you technically could just build a column and just build this straight up and instead of having the slants. But long story short, now I can just keep copying and pasting the staircase as high as I need it to go and still have the same area on every single floor. So, honestly, in terms of getting the general layout, I think this is pretty good. The only thing I'm probably going to come back and maybe like contemplate is if I like how this looks with the roofs. Because like I keep saying, chat, they really need to add corners, like a corner roof, so I can put something here, so that way it comes in, like, I can actually, because essentially I would love to do something where it's like, and then on the opposite side here, I would have, I can even do it. Essentially, I would like to have a roof that's like circling it. The problem is I don't have any pieces I can put here that would work. So it's just like, it's so frustrating. I need to add some sort of piece that I can actually put on the edge of these so I don't just have big openings in my buildings. 'Cause, I mean, we could technically do this, but I don't know how I like that. I don't know. It'll be something I'll think about and deal with at another time. But I think overall, I mean, kind of a slow start, but I think this is a pretty good little base. It's a good base for our base. There. How about that, chat? Yeah, we'll see. We might try to put circle stuff and just not put anything on the corners, but I don't know how I'll like that. We will see, but I think this is where we are going to stop for building part of things. Right now, I think we're just gonna kind of start chilling out. And I do want to kind of talk to you guys about future stream stuff, because obviously we're doing the base builds for live streams, but I do want to eventually use some sort of playthrough like on a brand new world with you guys. It's just I don't know what you guys would want to see, so that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you guys about that. And at least maybe if we kind of start figuring out and narrowing down some ideas, we can also start talking about any sort of rules or restrictions those ideas would have. Like, for example, like we were talking about for Nuzlocke, where would like the technical end of the game be? Would it just be after beating just normal Bjorn and Bastagor, or would it be like after beating like the raid bosses, or would it be the hard mode tower bosses? We'd have to like figure out those kind of like where the end point is, and also like, oh yeah, how many pals can I catch in an area? Can I catch multiple of the same pal, etc., etc., like all those little nitty-gritty details. So it's like, and I'd rather decide as a community than me make a decision and then like a majority of the community is like, nah, that sucks. So if anyone in chat does have any suggestions for any sort of game modes you'd like to see me do, let me know. You wanna know what I'm gonna do? While you guys actually sit there and think about that question for a sec, I'm gonna go clear my throat because this phlegm is pissing me off and I need to like go cough it out like a 40-year-old man. So I'm gonna go do that. You guys think about ideas for live streams we can do. The only thing I suggest is that excuse me, if you're gonna suggest an idea, please have it be an idea that, okay, there's two different ideas you can suggest, and try to like indicate which idea each one is, because there's ideas that we can do in like one live stream. So like, good example, like fighting the tower bosses, that can be done in one live stream. But then there's also the ideas for like long term. So once again, like 100 days on a world, or like I said, Nuzlocke, something like that. That's gonna be like a multi-stream kind of situation. So yeah, if you have any ideas for that, just indicate if that'd be more of like a one stream kind of deal, or if like a series kind of deal of streams. But think about that. I will be back in a minute. I'm gonna go clear my throat and drink some water, and hopefully I won't be clearing my throat every 3 seconds. So BRB chat, sorry. Oh, sorry, chat. Didn't mean to come back by slapping my mic, but we are back. We'll just stick to the big cam because we are done playing Palworld for now. Or for today, I should say. I also apologize if I'm still clearing my throat. Here comes the cat. Dun 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 dun. He's going for the lizard. Stop it. Shoo. Get. Yeah, goodbye. Leave him alone. Dad's being nice to you because I'm streaming, but if I wasn't, I'd grab the spray bottle. But yeah, like we were talking about, chat. If there is any sort of suggestions people have, or if there's any specific ideas that I suggested you would like me to do for a stream idea, let me know, because pretty much I just want to find out what you guys would like me to stream in terms of just like, once again, ideas. Mainly because I don't want to like try streaming something and then none of you guys are actually interested in watching that, and then in terms making videos about said streams also is not worth my time. I just want to make sure I'm doing stuff you guys will actually want to watch rather than me just posting stuff to just post stuff, you know? It's like, I feel like you guys can tell if like we're doing something that like we're having a fun time, or it's like I'm just going through the motions. So, but my vote is personally in the camp for a Nuzlocke. I feel like attempting a Palworld Nuzlocke would just be super fun. The main thing is I gotta figure out how I want to do that. Now that they have random pals spawning in the, like we can have the random world spawns, that'll make it a lot easier to do. It's just mainly figuring out the actual rules and restrictions of the Nuzlocks, because like there's a lot of rules we could probably copy and paste for the most part into it from like a Pokemon Nuzlocke into a Palworld Nuzlocke. It's just a matter of doing more nitty-gritty details about that, because I wonder if there's any Nuzlocks for Pokemon Arceus or whatever the open world one was. Not like AZ, but the one before that. Because if people have Nuzlocke rules for that, that might be more helpful. Because the main problem I'm having is just based on, obviously, there is a lot of differences between Palworld and Pokemon. Pokemon is strictly like a monster fighting game, while Palworld is like essentially it's a survival game with pals in it. So hypothetically, you could take out all of the pals in the game and it would just be a regular survival game. So that's where it's kind of different, and we would have to make some adjustments. In like rules, like another example is like, are we able to condense pals? Like, what kind of upgrades can we do for pals in a Nuzlocke? Like, if I capture a Lamball for the Nuzlocke, can I capture a bunch more Lamballs or breed Lamballs to upgrade them in a condenser? Like, that's the kind of nitty-gritty rules we'd have to figure out if we're gonna do any like Nuzlocke or anything like that, or even just the 100 days thing. It's just like, if we're doing the 100 days, it's like, all right, well, are we just playing 100 days and just seeing how far we go? Is there an objective we're working towards, just beating the game? Like, what are we trying to do in the 100 days? You know what I mean? Are there any restrictions on anything we can or can't do in the 100 days? Like, just stuff like that, just general rules, so that way when we hop into the world, or we actually hop into those streams, that way we don't have to like sit there and figure that out then and there. Like, we can just be like, all right, chat, this is what's going down. these are the rules, let's get into it, instead of, all right guys, let's spend the next 2 hours figuring out how we're gonna do this Nuzlocke, and then let's actually try it out and see if it works out, and then it doesn't work, so then we gotta try again tomorrow. It's like, no, I don't want to do all that. So that being said though, chat, it does seem like chat is pretty dead. So I'll probably talk to myself for a few more minutes here, but if we're not really gonna have many people kind of chatting and stuff for the most part, hey, no worries. Best way of putting it, Birdbill, is like I can kind of just ramble off ideas, but what I would like to do, maybe I can just do it on a different stream that we got a bit more of an active chat, but I would like to, or maybe I just don't do it at the end of the stream. Smart. But yeah, it's like this would definitely be something where it's like I would like to have a conversation with my chat, and the problem is I'm just talking to myself, and that's not helpful. I can do that in my own time. At this point, I'm just vocalizing my thoughts. No, that's totally understandable, Bird. Like anyone who, like, I know a lot of my viewers are just viewers, but I know you do content too, so that's understandable and stuff. It's just like, I guess another example, maybe if you maybe not giving the ideas, but like a good example, Bird, if you ever do a Nuzlocke, I think establishing for like the Palworld community a general rule set for like that kind of thing. I don't know if you know what like a Nuzlocke is, but yeah, it's like I feel like coming up with that rule set for the Palworld community would just be like a cool idea, because at the moment I have not found anyone who's like has a solid rule set that would work well. So that's why I want to figure that out with chat and figure out what everyone else's like thoughts and opinions are on like stuff like that, because yeah, I'm just one guy. I definitely do not have all the answers and know how to make all this stuff work properly and make a Nuzlocke for a completely different game work in Palworld, you know. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people, maybe they didn't call it Nuzlocke, but I'm sure that some people have, they've like attempted very similar challenges. Because essentially all Nuzlocke would be is like, at least like the bare bones of it, it would be, in my mind, for a Palworld Nuzlocke, we'd obviously have the random pal generator for the where they spawn, but essentially in every named area, so like anything that pops up at the top of your screen with a name, it'd be like you can only capture one pal in that area. And then it'd be stuff like, oh my gosh, Garth, we're gonna be ending soon, dude, but welcome. I'm glad you could at least make it here. We could actually use you in chat. We were just talking about stuff, because we were talking about future live stream stuff that we're gonna do, so ideas for live streams, and also rule sets for any live stream ideas. So right now we're talking about like Nuzlocke, how a Nuzlocke would work in Palworld. And like I was saying, essentially any of the actual named world areas that pop up, you could catch like one pal in that area. The main thing I'm not sure about is how you'd want to go about condensing, because, and same with like passive skills, because I feel like being limited on that stuff is gonna be a major detriment to actually completing the challenge. So it's like, I don't know if we want to say like breeding and like condensing pals is allowed. Maybe not the breeding for passive skills, but maybe just condensing would be fine. And you just got to get lucky with a pal that happens to have skills you want. But we also don't want to be like, Nuzlocke, guys, this is a 2-month-long Nuzlocke, because we're just sitting here breeding pals for 8 hours. So it's like we do have to, even if there's not a set time limit, it's like we don't want to spend forever doing this either. So it's like there is a like ethereal, like all around us timer of like, don't spend the next year and a half doing a Nuzlocke. I'll check out Megabits sometime. Yeah, like I always say, I don't watch a lot of Palworld streamers, but maybe for the challenge ideas, I guess a good way of putting it as well, I just don't want to steal an idea. If I can get an idea from it and like branch off from that to make a brand new idea, I'll go for it. But like, I don't want to just like straight up copy ideas. It just kind of feels like a dick move in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at least in terms of like the Nuzlocke thing. I've always seen the videos of like, I spent 100 days on this world, and like I've never actually watched them, so I've never understood like the point of them. But it's just like, is the point of those types of videos just to be like, how far can I get in 100 days, and just show the results at the end? 'Cause other than that, I've never understood that. Because I could do that in this world. I spent 5,000 hours on this one world. Here are my results. Which, by the way, I do have a video coming up. I think I mentioned it in the past in previous streams, but I do want to make a video once I hit 5,000 hours, just talking about my general thoughts and opinions on Palworld. And I already have a great idea for the thumbnail. It's just going to be like essentially a black thumbnail, and it's going to be the like thing on Steam that says like hours played, and it's going to be like it's going to say 5K, or it might even just be a screenshot from my Steam. And then it's going to have the thing, because I've never rated Palworld, where it says like, would you recommend this to other players? And I'm just going to have it say meh. I got to have a controversial thumbnails, because if it says meh, like all the people who love Palworld are just going to be like, oh, how could you say this game is meh? See, big brain chat. But I do want to make a video talking about just my general overall thoughts and opinions about Palworld and stuff I'd like to see in the game in the future. And just, yeah, I don't know. I think it'd just be a good video idea, especially once I hit that like 5K mark. I'm just saying, I think it's a funny thumbnail. Just like 5K. You've played 5,000 hours on this game. Do you like it? It's okay. I was actually like thinking about leaving a review, just like doing a thumbs down, being like, I don't recommend it. It sucks. Because on Steam, it like shows how many hours you've played. It's like, you've played 5,000 hours. I don't like it. I will say, compared to a lot of other games, it definitely isn't like anything like extraordinary or anything. Like, it's... how I kind of describe it, it's a cutesy version of Ark, essentially. Like, I know people always are comparing it to Pokemon, but in all reality, if you look at it from like an actual like gameplay and like mechanics perspective, besides like the capturing pals and spheres, the game plays way more like a game like Ark than Pokemon, like, ever. So it's like, in terms of like every game out on the planet, absolutely, it's probably just like your average mid game. Like, in term, like, it definitely blew up in hype when the game first came out, because everyone was just saying Pokemon with guns. But yeah, I think in terms of a survival game, especially from a company who's never made a survival game, as far as I'm aware, I don't think Pocket Pair's ever made a survival game in the past. And if they did, it definitely wasn't a well-known one. But point being is that considering this is from a company who's never made a game like this before, I think it's pretty good. Like, could there definitely be a lot of things that are better about it? Absolutely. But also, like I like to mention to people as well, is that the game is still in early access. I feel like everyone forgets this fact, mainly because every company does this now, where they release a game as either early access or like in an unfinished state, and then it's just like it gets better like a year later, but at that point no one cares because it's been a year. But yeah, Palworld's one of those games where it's just like it's technically in early access and the game's still getting huge updates all the time. So it's like it's very hard to like, you can give an opinion about it at the time, but in terms of like how the game's gonna progress and evolve, that's hard to say, because until they essentially how I see it, chat, until the game says that it is officially like fully out, not in early access anymore, that's when I will give like my full opinion, because that's when I'm assuming most like big updates are going to slow down. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. So that's where I kind of stand on that. So in early access, I will definitely have my opinions on certain things. But until they pretty much are like, yeah, this is like what we want the final game to be, it's hard to give like an opinion, because like they're still having to change things, including from that's not even including all the stuff that's going on with the Nintendo lawsuits. It's like that stuff they're having to change not by choice, but because they have to. So it's like it's very hard to give that like final sentiment of like opinion of if it's a good game or not, because let's just say this. If you asked me that question when the game first came out, I'd probably be like, this game sucks ass. Oh. Excuse me. Choking on my own spit, apparently. But yeah, I'd be like, this game kind of sucks. Like, at least if you were to like say like Palworld's like fully released and this is what the full game's gonna be, I'd probably say the game sucks. But because it was early access, I was like, I'm gonna give you some time to grow and see what you evolve into. So that's kind of, I agree. At the moment, it's definitely mid, but once again, we'll have to see what the game's like when it's fully out. Because, like, that's like comparing Ark from 2015 to now. It's just like, it was a completely different game back then. I actually don't know what year Ark came out. I just know my buddies in high school were playing it. So it was definitely out sometime between 2014 and 2017. There you go, chat. And that tells you how old I am. That's when I was in high school. Yeah, exactly. And they've said it in the past too. It's just like they are very straightforward about being like, if you want to come back to the game, like if you want to take a break from playing the game and come back months later and check out what's new, go for it. But like, we do not care if you like go off and play other games. We're not expecting you to play our game all the time, which is fair. They should assume that. It's just like, unless you're actively adding and updating stuff like to the game, people will play the game, have their opinion, and the people who don't like the game will not come back. So at least if they're like continuing to update the game, at least those people who didn't like it will like come back in like 6 months or a year and be like, let's give it one more try, and then maybe they'll like it then or something. So, but yeah, if you're not into breeding or building or collecting, you get to max level, beat the tower, and then what? Nothing. It's fair, but at the same time, Garf, you gotta compare that to most other survival games. Ask that same question about Ark, or Rust, or 7 Days to Die. It's like Minecraft, biggest survival game out there. I don't know why I haven't said that one yet, but Same kind of idea. It's just like, oh, you don't care about the creative part about Minecraft. You just want to play it for the story. You're probably gonna think Minecraft sucks a lot. So it's just like, or at least Minecraft is a mid game and don't understand the hype. But it's like that when you get into like the creative aspects of things, not even including mods, like, because that's a whole nother thing you got to think about too. Like Palworld's modding community is still extremely young. Like a year-old modding community for a game is not old at all, especially for a game like this where it's like they pretty much actively are like, yeah, like we would like you to mod the game. Just know that when we put out an update, you're gonna have to update your mod as well. But it's just like they talk about modders in their opening message when you open the game. So it's like they're very well aware people are modding or adding mods to the game. So it's like, yeah, kind of going on. Sorry, my brain fart. Okay, yeah, that was like modding Minecraft. Okay, yeah. Long story short, though, I agree with what you're saying about the whole, like, if you're not into, like, the whole, like, all the grinding stuff of Palworld, then, yeah, you're probably gonna not have a fun time, and you're probably gonna think it's a mid-game. But, once again, that just goes back to it's if you don't like Palworld because of those reasons, you're probably not gonna just like any survival game, period. That's how I kind of see it. It's like if you're not into like the doing all the grindy things and building things after you technically quote unquote beat the game, because there's technically no way to actually officially beat the game. There's no like there's never a point on the screen that will say you have completed the game. Nice job. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I see what you're saying, Garth, but at the same time, there's a good chance that if you're not into that stuff, you're probably just not into survival games, period. Like, that's probably just not your jam. So, and I get it, it's not everybody's deal. It's kind of like this thing I say about RuneScape, where it's like people say I should play it. I've had people throughout all my life tell me I should get into RuneScape, and I never do because I just don't. It's just not my game I'm personally into. Yeah, like, let's just say this, like, I've watched like the game theories and crap about Minecraft and lore and all that BS, and it's like, if you want to give Minecraft lore in your own way, you do you. But yeah, you're 100% right, where it's like, in all reality, if you don't care about the lore, it's a game about blocks. Like, but somehow it's the biggest game on the planet. So might have been overpassed on a couple occasions. Fortnite. But yeah, Fortnite or Minecraft's still on top, baby. Yeah, it's a struggle, Garth. But see, but that's what I say. That's why I love survival games, though. It's just like you can always find something new to do in them. It's just like, it's like you beat the game, you beat all the tower bosses, go upgrade pals you like. You don't need to only use the most powerful pals in the game anymore. Go make a fully upgraded Jolthog. Go make a fully upgraded Lamball. Why not? Just to be like, I can go run around the world with a Lamball now and not care. Or now another example, like with my base builds, it's like, all right, well, I beat the game. The bases I had were mediocre at best. So let's make them all mega bases now. That's what we're doing now. And I've probably spent at least like minimum 50 plus hours building mega bases. So, and then yeah, I will say anything that's that kind of grindy where it's just sitting around waiting for stuff to like hatch and breed and all that BS, I'll admit that kind of grind I hate. personally, but it's just part of it. In most survival games, there is usually some form of that in one way or another, whether it's waiting for stuff to cook, waiting for stuff to craft, all this BS, having to go out and farm resources. There's always some sort of grindy, tedious thing you gotta do in every survival game, and in Palworld, it just happens. One of the many happens to be breeding. And like I said, I just specifically don't like that one just because it is just super tedious and you just sit around and do nothing, essentially. At least if you're at the point where I'm at in the game, where it's like you don't need to go out and like do stuff in the world anymore, so you're just sitting at your base. For most other players, at least, you can like go out and do other things, but it's like I don't have anything. What am I gonna do? Go beat all the hard mode tower bosses again? I literally just did it with no pals. What am I supposed to do now? No guns? I'm just supposed to punch all the bosses? As funny of a challenge as that it would be, it's not happening, chat. So don't get any ideas. But yeah, I don't know. I just find survival games fun in that aspect, though, where you can literally just find stuff to do. And then if you're bored on your world, guess what? Restart. That's the fun part about survival games. You can just start a new world and start at square one and do it all over again, but do it differently. Welcome back, Atox. We're just talking about survival games and just chatting. But yeah, I don't know. Survival games are one of those few games where I feel like you could easily stick to that genre and never get bored, solely because of the fact of the replayability of all these games. Like, good example, if I really wanted to, not even on the world that like I'm on, I could start a brand new world of the randomizer. I could start a brand new world of hardcore. I could start a brand new world with I did try doing a challenge in the past. It was like Palworld was bugging out, so it didn't want to work for streaming very well at the time, but I tried doing a challenge where I could only catch 10 pals, and that's what I had to use for the entire game. So it's like I could do just general challenges like that. And it's just like, yeah, just basic stuff. Speed runs, see how fast I can get to like Bjorn and Bastigor. It's just like, yeah, I think just the variety you can do in survival games is a lot more fun compared to like, let's say like a first-person shooter or something. It's just like, all right, well, all you're doing in those games is just playing matches over and over and over and over and over again. And while it is fun, after a while it could get super tedious and repetitive and boring. So it's like you can't really change that gameplay at all. Maybe you can change the game mode, but other than that, it's still the same general idea. Whereas in like a survival game, you could either go out and like fight things all day, or you can literally sit around and not fight a single enemy and just build all day. You just have so many more options available to you in these types of games. Yeah, exactly. It's just like that's the fun part about survival games too. You can kind of just set your own like end point about it too. It's like, because once again, even if you like get to the like quote unquote official ending, or where like they say what like the end game would be per se, it's like that's the fun part. Like once you beat it, it's not like the game ends there. It's like you can keep playing afterwards, and that's when you do all the fun stuff, because it's like, all right, well, you beat the game, now you have all these resources, go do fun stuff with those resources. Like I remember in 7 Days to Die, after a certain point, all of my buddies and I just built mini bikes, and we just rode around with rocket launchers and mini bikes and shot zombies for fun. It's like, why not? But exactly, Bird Build. It's just like survival, like I keep saying, survival games, they just have so much versatility to them just due to them being open world survival games. So it's like you can do, as long as you got the resources and time, you can do whatever you want in that game. Whether, like I said, Palworld, Minecraft, Rust, 7 Days to Die, Unturned. I'm just literally thinking of the ones off of Buried by. Once again, Buried by 20% off. Speaker 20. Sorry. I'm literally not paid or obligated to do that. I just throw it in there just because, you know. If you're going to use the code, you need to know what the code is, right? Berry Bite, by the way, go to it, use it for dedicated servers. Smile. All right, no more promotion. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's about all I can say about survival games. But yeah, I like them a lot. If you couldn't tell, I'm really excited. When you will do that. Pat said we'll only challenge one day. I do want to try that out. Like I said, I think the main thing that at least will take me a bit to do is figuring out if there is a list of pals that are passive to players, and if so, or if there's not, then I'd have to make a list of all the pals that are passive to players, and that would take a decent amount of time to do. So, like I said, it'd be an interesting challenge. I just would have to figure out the logistics of how easy it's going to be to like keep track of which ones are like, obviously, like while I'm playing dirt. If it's not attacking me, then it's probably not aggressive. But that's sweet of you to offer a talk. I mean, if you want to do that, definitely feel free to. I just don't want to like force you to do stuff or anything. It's like, if you want to set up a list to help me do a challenge like that, I think that'd be pretty fun. Once again, like I mentioned before though, when it comes to when I'd get around to doing it, different story. But at least if you help make that list, that would give me a better opportunity to potentially do that in the future. Like, actually, funny enough, a good example of like why I've never made a video talking about just like top 10 strongest pals or anything is because I would like to have a lot of the pals, or a big chunk of the pals, fully upgraded, so I know all their stats and stuff, so I can properly give you answers instead of just me being like, I think this pal's pretty strong. So it's just like, if I'm gonna be giving you guys like a top 10 like strongest pal thing, I'd be like, here's like definitively the top 10 like pals with the strongest like base stats for the like attack, defense, and health and stuff like that. I'd like to have those specific stats instead of once again just being like, oh, he seems kind of strong, so I recommend him. Because it's like, no duh, Frost Stallion is strong. No duh, Jet Dragon is strong. No duh, Necromus is strong. And no duh, all the strong pals are strong. But how do they compare to each other? We need to know that. That's why it's like, if I do any of that, like, yeah, well, I'd like to have those proper stats. Lamball is strong. The GOAT. Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say, you never told me that story or the full story of how you found the Mega Base video. But that's very cool. Hey, well, like I said, I'm glad I kind of gave you a little resurgence of wanting to play and figuring out stuff to do, because it's fun. Like I said, it's just like, it's so fun to just have so much creativity that you can end up doing in a game like this, compared to, once again, it's just like, okay guys, we're gonna play our 7,000th round of team deathmatch. It's like, I don't mind that on the occasion, but it's like, Like I said, and these types of games can suck me in for hours compared to like I could maybe play like 3 hours of COD and then I'm like I need to get off before I punch my monitor. Fan meeting when? I mean, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but the thing is, I think at the same time too, I gotta remember, especially for the size I'm at. I'm just a guy. I'm not anything crazy. I will say, if any of you guys go to anime conventions, I do go to a couple in the Midwest area on occasion. So if you're ever in any of those or go to any conventions there, I usually go to Anime Milwaukee specifically, since that's one in my state. But yeah, maybe something in the future. Chat, once again, this is why we gotta grow the channel, because then I can get invited to go have meet and greets at things. And then, I don't know, if they force me to charge people, I'd be like, fuck you. But I would like to just do a general just meet and greet, not charged. But yeah, I don't know. Once again, very far off in the distance. Gotta bring it back. We're only at like 3.5k subscribers. That's more of a like minimum like 50 to 100k subscriber thing. I was researching best space pals. Watch a couple, made my list, started breeding and logged the YouTube one day. Well, there you go. That's funny though. It's just like, hey, I mean, that's how you end up finding creators you like. It's just like you're interested in one thing, and then next thing you know, and that's chat. And funny enough, that's exactly why I make the upgrade guide videos for all the different pals, because it's like maybe you're not gonna need an upgrade guide specifically on Prickster or something like that, but if someone's like, I want to know how to upgrade this one specific pal, they search it up. Guess who shows up? Ya boy. Because once again, it's like there's very few people out there. First off, there's very few okay, let me rephrase that. There's not very few Palworld content creators, but there's a lot less Palworld content creators now than there was when the game first came out, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people kind of started falling off, especially once Nintendo started getting involved, because people just thought it was going to get sued out of oblivion. But yeah, clearly Palworld's sticking around. So for the people who, like me and all the other content creators that are still chugging along making Palworld content, specifically like content creators like, and I'm not like trying to like boost myself, I'm just saying specifically like people like me who only make content on one game instead of like a variety of content. It's like the people who are chugging along doing this stuff are going to be the ones that come out on top once people start realizing that Palworld's going to be like sticking around, is going to be a pretty big brand in the future. It's just like people are kind of like kicking Palworld while it's down, and it's just like like I said, let the game grow a little bit. It's an early access. It's still fighting its war with Nintendo. Let it get past those hurdles, and then we'll see where Palworld goes. It's like, considering how they're doing while fighting legal lawsuits against literally the biggest like game company on the planet, I think they're doing pretty all right. No worries, Atox. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad you could come hang out for a bit. We're probably going to be ending stream here shortly anyways. It's 1 a.m. for me, and I do work in 5 hours, so should probably get some sleep for that. But thank you very much, Atox, for stopping in. We'll figure out some stuff for streaming in the future, especially if we do some sort of like playthrough of a new world. We'll definitely be doing a lot more streaming in the future. But I hope you have a good rest of your night and you take it easy now. And thank you. I appreciate your kind words. You're awesome, Atox. You take it easy, all right? But on that note, though, chat, I know we just kind of like ramble on about why I like survival games, but listen, chat. There's a reason why we put 5K hours into the Palworld alone. That's not even including all my other games, survival games I've played. If I add up all my hours from all survival games, that's easily over 10K hours. I appreciate that, Atox. We'll try to do a stream soon, I promise. But take it easy. Yeah, but I don't know, chat. Survival games have always been my jam. I've loved all types of games, but survival games have always hit that sweet spot where I can literally like. Here's a good way of putting it, chat. Survival games are the only games I will like forcefully. Well, not like forcefully. I will literally like unintentionally like neglect my like bodily needs to play games like survival games. Oh, rest in peace, camera battery. Another good reason to end stream. But yeah, chat, like best way of putting it, I could literally sit and not move from my like chair all day, not like eat or anything. Like heck, I can barely even go to the bathroom if I'm playing a survival game compared to like a competitive game. Like I said, after like a few hours, I'm just like, I need to like get off and like not play this for a whole day. But yeah, about to catch you next one. Would you try a regular stream schedule? See, that's something I will try to do, and I think I'm gonna make a community post about that. I want to ask everybody who's subscribed what days they would prefer a stream to happen if it were to happen on a weekly schedule. Like what days will work best for people, because a good way of putting it is I don't want to stream on a day and stream at a time where no one's available to watch. So it's like I'd like to figure out what days and times. Obviously people will have days and times where they're either just not going to tune in or they got stuff going on, but if I can figure out what works best for a majority of people, I think that's what will work best, because obviously my little random spurts of streaming when I feel like it doesn't work great. But I feel like if we have a consistent schedule where it's like most people are free and available to come watch, I think that'll make it a lot better for the streaming stuff and getting people to come in. But yeah, we'll figure out something. Like I said, I just got to make a community post in the future kind of asking, first off, what days people prefer, and then like what general time frame. So like, do people prefer like a morning stream? Do they prefer more of a like afternoon? Or in my case, do they prefer something where I'm streaming actively at 1 a.m.? I always forget you're in the UK, Garth. But yeah, exactly. It's like it's early for you. So I mean, let's see, if it's 7 a.m. for you, that means I should have a new video, a new upgrade guide coming out in 8, 9, 10, 11. So probably around noon for you is when my video's coming out. I forget if it's coming out at 5 or 6. I'd have to check at after the stream, but yeah, I should have a new video coming out for me at like 5 or 6 in the morning. I guess technically today, so it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. I'm sorry if that was loud. But where was that? What was I talking about? Sorry, that scream just made me completely lose track of what I was saying. But yeah, TLDR. Yeah, new video coming out in like a few hours, so stay tuned for that. Also, like I've mentioned before, I don't know if YouTube decided to not recommend my videos. I know a lot of you guys have already watched my videos, but if you haven't watched the news video I put out about versing every tower boss with no pals, check that out, because for some reason it feels like YouTube is not pushing that video at all. And like I said, like I'm not just saying like, oh, whine, boo-hoo me. It's like normally my videos will get like at least a few hundred views in the first day. Like it's been 2 days and it's at like 300 views. So like I genuinely don't know what even is happening. So It is what it is, though. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's a good one. I put a decent amount of effort into it, and I'm pretty proud of it. So, alrighty. Other than that, chart. I don't know what I'm saying. I need sleep. Sleepy time, chat. Let's try words again. Chat, we're gonna end things here. It's been very fun talking to y'all. As usual, didn't get as far as I would have liked in the base building, but I think we got a pretty decent start. It's just, once again, it's kind of like the annoying part where it's like, all right, now I already have the idea of how I wanted it built, but now that I'm actually building it, like, stuff is not working how I'd like it to be built. So now we got to kind of work around that to make it work. So we'll figure it out though. But once again, thank you all for checking out the stream. If you enjoyed the music, check out the DMCA free music label Speakerhead Studios. All links in the description. Finally, if you want to become a channel member, 2 different tiers gets you perks and cool emotes and stuff. But yeah, other than that, chat, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you all so much for checking out the stream. It's been awesome chatting with y'all, and I will catch everybody in the next stream. I will say the next stream, just because we're doing base build stuff, should be hopefully soon, probably this weekend. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know when that's happening. But y'all take it easy, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.